I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early.
Time after time after time, we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
X, my brother.
No. Don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing his ground.
What?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early.
Time after time after time, we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
X, my brother.
No. Don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing his ground.
What?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early morning.
Time after time after time, we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
Ex, my brother.
No. Don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing his ground.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to the show, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. Southside Tone, Supreme Tax, Keno, Jeff Smith, Silver Salmon. I thank you. I thoroughly appreciate y'all coming through. And without further ado, the award-winning student, the best daughter in the whole wide world, the best big sister, little sister in the whole wide world. She had her first recital last Sunday and she was amazing. Without further ado, Miss Kennedy Lenny Jean Hawthorne. Kennedy Lenny Jean Hawthorne, ladies and gentlemen. That was awesome, beautiful. Coming next to the stage, the greatest big brother in the world, the bilingual one, the gentleman, Lincoln Curtis Gerald Hawthorne, ladies and gentlemen. Lincoln Curtis Gerald Hawthorne, ladies and gentlemen. Hawthorne. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Next time, okay? Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys were great tonight. Thank you, guys. Don Juan DeMarco, Yova, Birdman, thank you guys for coming. This should be a pretty fun show because we got a lot of topics to discuss. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I love you. Close the door. Love y'all. Mommy, close the door. Just put it by the door. All right. All right, Jerry. We got to get that. We got to get that for you, man. I got to. Anyways, man, before we get started, man, if you want to see something amazing, you guys got to go to my DM, not my DM. Go to my stories. There's a scaled train that I just saw. Well, I saw today. Yo, it is simply amazing, dog. It's a scaled train that goes from San Diego to Washington. Oh my gosh. Oh, if you in the California area, man, Los Angeles area, you got to take your kids to see it, man. It is a spectacle, man. I was like, damn, it's amazing. Yeah, you got to. So go to my stories and oh, matter of fact, what am I talking about? This is simply amazing, dog. Let me show y'all this. I forgot that I can do it. Let me hey. Hey. I'm gonna show y'all what I was crying at just now. I mean, in tears. I was in tears, dog. Let me say they got this new shit. I don't know where I'd be on this shit. The fuck? How do I get to my homepage? Man, they got me. Okay, I found. All right. Because I love y'all, I'm just the story no longer exists. The hell? See, they doing y'all dirty on my stories. I don't know why it don't exist. Anyways, man, y'all got to go to my stories, man. Oh, I go to my profile right here. Let's see if it shows. It says my stories no longer exist. Oh, that's fucked up. Maybe it'll play later. But man, it is amazing. When I say it's amazing, it is amazing. Like amazing. Imagine a scaled train. I'm not sure if you guys are into that type of thing, but if you ever driven across country, if you've ever was a truck driver, if you ever been enamored with landscape and geography, and oh man, if you live on the East Coast, you probably want to see it because you may never experience the entire coast of the Western coast, but it's a sight to see. It is really a sight to see. But yeah, man. I see they won't show it. Okay, so let's see if this is in my stories. I mean, I laugh for dear life. Dog, I laughed for dear life when I saw this. Who sent it to me, dog? Yo, this is the funniest shit ever. I'm gonna tell you why this is the funniest shit ever. Tank doesn't know what. Okay, I gotta share this. Let me make sure it's good. Okay, yeah. All right. Hey, let's all laugh together, y'all. I don't give a flying fuck, man. He said it. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. Okay, watch this.
What's so fun?
I can't fast forward it.
What's the difference between beating an opponent up?
Man, I can't fast forward. How come I can't fast forward it? Man, I got to be able to fast forward this shit because we ain't about to sit here and listen to the whole shit. But because it's 5 minutes long. But when I say it was fucking hilarious, I cried laughing, dog. 1.4 million views. That's sad.
What's so fun? What's the difference?
Okay, wait.
Between
I gotta set this up. Tank don't know what blackmail is. I cried laughing. I was in the kitchen about 2 hours ago, and I cried and I cried because okay, you're only gonna be able to see it once because I can't control the speed of it, right? So, anyways. Tank says, the guy says, do you know what blackmail is? I guess he says yes. So he hands him an envelope. And the man says, do you know what's in it? It's an envelope, right? He says, blackmail. Oh. Dog, I don't give a fuck. He said it, man. We gonna laugh and cry together, man.
Beating an opponent up and beating an opponent off.
Why you laughing at that shit? You don't talk to me that way. I don't know you. You ain't nobody.
Davis, make up your mind.
Ain't no man gonna talk to me like that.
I don't know.
You gotta take a stand somewhere here today. How about this? Let's start with a segment. You like segments?
Listen to this, guys. Listen, here it is right here.
So you're a boxer. You like boxing. But have you ever heard of unboxing?
Follow me, y'all.
I guess.
It's a very popular trend.
Okay, before we go,
Do you mind if we do that with you?
take everything, swallow. Before you make sure there's nothing in your hands and you're not chewing anything, okay? Because it's about to get real. If you have a sense of humor like me, it is fucking hilarious. But anyways, here we go. I'm just forewarning you. You're going to spit it out. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Usually does boxing, but today Gervonta Davis is doing unboxing. Take that.
I need like scissors or something, right?
Do you want to have some scissors?
Thank you.
You just talk us through it. We're not going to talk at all. You just talk us through this, okay?
Okay. Open the box.
Wow, hurry up.
Money.
Got it.
Hold up, but I don't know what's at the bottom though. It could be a snake or anything.
It's your show. What is it?
Blackmail.
Blackmail?
Yeah.
What do you know about blackmail?
Porno. iPhone.
Want to know what that is?
Blackmail.
On that iPhone device, you have an audio recording.
Oh my God, dog, I couldn't tell. Oh, I told Dre, right? I said, Dre, I just watched this, right? Dre didn't get it, but it says blackmail. What's in it? Black. Oh my gosh. I'm done, man. I'm done. Why would they let Tank go on this show like this, man? Tank ain't witty. Tank ain't that witty, man. Why would they let him go on? If somebody's going, oh my gosh. Birdman, that shit is ridiculous, Birdman. Listen, if my son if Lincoln isn't that witty, if I had a child that wasn't quick like that, no way in hell he going on a show like this, man. You know what I mean? Oh my God. Oh, he said, what's in it? Blackmail? Oh my God. Oh man. Oh my gosh. That shit was hilarious, dog. If you didn't think it was funny, it's cool. I don't give a flying fuck. All right, before we get into the show, man, did y'all see that man? Oh my gosh. To the show, man. Did y'all see that? Wait. Did y'all see did y'all see Curry? What's his name? The man screaming racism. Did y'all see that? That shit funny as fuck, man. You know what I mean? Especially if you're a wordsmith, that shit is funny as fuck. Hey, but Mark Curry. Did anybody see that Mark Curry? Man, I got to bring it up right now. Mark Curry. Maybe it was on a shade room or something like that. This is when I say man, we got to stop this. I'm all in for supporting people who was racially profiled and shit like this.
All right, so
but
the problem is
I'm not for this. And feel free to come in and disagree with me. I'm not into this shit. I'm not into playing the victim, playing the aggressor, then playing the victim, then playing the aggressor, then playing the victim. I ain't got time to play all 10 clips because it's like 10 minutes long. But basically, Mark Curry was sitting. He's an old comedian that had the show, you know what I mean? And I don't know if he was or wasn't racially profiled. I have no idea. But he was sitting there, and security came up to him. Security came up to him and said, are you a patron here? Or do you it's in a hotel lobby. Do you have a room key or anything as such? He says, so why are you asking me that? There's 300 white people over there, or there's white people over there. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it jogs me back to my memory. Yeah, hanging with Mr. Cooper. There it is. Thank you, dog. And I ain't gonna lie. If I'm in a hotel lobby and I'm not doing anything, they ask me, what the hell are you doing here? Because they got you on camera. They got you on camera just sitting down and not doing anything, not spending any money and stuff like that. And so they asked him, what was he doing? He said, so I'm being racially profiled. All they said was, show me your room key. Show me your room key. That's all. Show me your room key. And I'm not into making things bigger than what it is, especially in public. I'm not all for that shit. So basically, I'll let you guys hear it. I don't need to pull it up. Listen.
I'm in a hotel lobby, and this man wants to see. I don't know.
If you're a guest.
Huh?
I'm just asking if you're a guest.
And I'm asking, are you a guest?
I said no. I'm an employee.
Well, let me see some ID. You got your backup. How you doing, backup?
So, and there's a young black man with him, and he says, oh, you got your Uncle Tom over there, your coon, or something like that. And I'm like, this is a young, look like he looks 22 years old, man. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? I don't know if he was or wasn't racially profiled. I don't know if he was or wasn't. I can't say that he was. But he chose, and then when he got to his room, he says, I'm Mark Curry. And I says, oh, I know what this is about. He says, I'm Mark Curry. All y'all go call them and do what I said, oh, I know what this is about. I know this is about ego. I'll see if I can play that clip for you if I can find it. When he's in his hotel room.
This is some bullshit.
See, here it is right here. This is some
bullshit. This is what we do in America. This didn't. He was so upset. I don't know what his problem was. He did not want me in the lobby. They walked up to me in the lobby and said, this lobby is public. I mean, private. What you talking about? You know, and they stopped me. I'm at the Wyndham Mining Grand Hotel in Colorado Springs. So I want you guys to give this motherfucking place a call and let them know what you think of them stopping Mark Curry.
See, let them know what you think about stopping Mark Curry. This ain't about racism. This is about his ego, man. I didn't like that. The moment he says, let y'all know how they feel about Mark Curry, I said, nah, I'm done. You know what I mean? He felt slighted that this meant. And then he went to the receptionist and he says, do you have a room key? She didn't recognize him. And he says, didn't you check me in? I'm like, just show the room key. It's not, to me, this ain't the hill I want to die on or the mountain I want to die on. You know what I mean? I don't make scenes like that. He stood there for 10 minutes and then he got to his room and says, I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to a new hotel. Stop complaining. Grab your stuff, check out, and leave. Like, so if they were racially, I was listening to it and I personally didn't care because ain't no 50-year-old man, like ain't no 45-year-old man gonna blow his head off of, for me. This is just me. I'm not blowing the roof off of this. If they say, are you here? Because it happens to me a lot when I traveled a lot, right? Not a lot, but maybe once a year. And they'll ask me, do you reside here? And the second day they'll recognize you, the security will recognize you, and they know you're here for the fight and stuff like that. But the first night they don't know. And and naturally, if you don't look like the usual, whether it's a cowboy event, I mean, like real cowboys, or whether it's a snow bunny event, or whether it's an all black event, black people would do it to the same white person. Hey, so what are you doing here? How you doing, man? Maybe a black person, hey, how you doing, man? You enjoying yourself? You know, black people put a little bit more sauce on it. You know, I mean, I understand it, you know, but we got to stop dying on these hills like this, man. You know what I mean? Y'all call this number and let them know how they treat Mark Curry, huh? Oh, so this is about you and your ego and your pride and how much power you believe you have. Ah, I get it. I get it. I get it. I know. I ain't doing this. No. I'm not falling for this one bit. And so this is what I don't like. I'm all in on a motherfucker being racially profiled. You know what I mean? We never go back. We not boycotting. We never going back. You know what I mean? And so, anyways, man, that was the thing of the day, and I vehemently disagreed with him. It was about his ego, you know. But anyways, man, Terrence Crawford, man, I'm very interested in what y'all thought. I'm gonna put this all in like 10 minutes, man. Yeah, why don't Mark Curry call? See, thank you, man. Thank you. And the comment section was like, man, I feel you, man. Why black people can't do this? I said, but it's all about his ego. Anyways, man, Terrence Crawford, man, I know I'm gonna get a lot of dialogue out within the conversation we had, because I know y'all are gonna be very opinionated on this. First, I want to say I'm glad Earl Spence is safe. I'm really happy he's safe. He got in a car accident with a 14-year-old kid who stole a car and was joyriding. And I'm glad the young man is safe, man. He can go home to his family and have the holiday season with his 3 beautiful kids. So yeah, man, it's Terrence Crawford last night. I thought the production was good. I didn't have a problem. It was on par. It was on par with everything else we see on TV. You know, I think they need a light specialist. It was a little. I thought the ring was a little bit too dark, and everything I say is basically nitpicking, man. It ain't nothing like beholding. The ring girls had tattoos. I don't know if I want my ring girls having tattoos. They didn't sing the national anthem. What else? Those 4 men in the ring, man. I'm like, why are they there? You know what I mean? I'm like, why are these 4 men in the ring there? Like they got it. One got a ball cap hat on backwards. One ain't got a suit. One got a little belly. I'm like, 137,000 views? No fucking way. I believe it. You know what I mean? I think if you're gonna go in the ring and you're representing $1 billion company, you need to have a suit on. You need to look respectable. Fuck that after 6, man. I'm about to go for drinks with my boys. I'm gonna unbutton my top collar. Nah, man. If you got a belly, you need to put a sweater on and you need to put a blazer on. You know what I mean? I'm just being 100. You got to look respectable. You got to look the part, and you got to know who you are as a human being. You know what I mean? What else? I thought, what's the other guy? Zab Judah. I didn't like Zab Judah asking the questions. I thought Zab Judah was gonna be like Sam Watson. That may be a good idea. It may give him credibility. I don't know. But Zab Judah asking questions, I would rather a true journalist ask questions. Yeah, motherfucker in there dressed like Butch Lewis. Hey, you just took me back to when I was 9 years old, man. Oh, you just took me back to when I was 9 years old, man. Butch Lewis. Rest in peace, Butch Lewis, man. Rest in peace, Butch Lewis, man. Man, rest in peace. Motherfucker had a gold chain. They had that skinny gold. They had the 1 gold chain. Oh, man, rest in peace, Butch Lewis. I love you. I'll see you in the morning. All right, peace. Yeah, man. What else? What else am I? And these are things that they can fix overnight. They need a better matchmaker. I was praying that 400-pound fighter don't break the ring, man, because that's the last thing, man. That's the last thing Boxing Ego needed, man. If he would have broke that ring, oh, Boxing Ego would have had a ball. You know what I'm saying? Boxing Ego would have had a blast if that would have happened, huh? Oh man. Boxing Ego has been on their helmets, man. You know what I mean? That's who I was talking about a lot, Boxing Ego, man. But I don't want to make it personal, you know what I mean? Because I have no ill will. I just vehemently disagree with Boxing Ego. Y'all think I'm talking about a whole bunch of other people, but yeah, man, I just think he just went extra hard on him for no reason. What else? What else? The Ring Girls. I think that they didn't hire Antonio Tarver, Paula Malignaggi. They'll work out their chemistry kinks that they have, but they have potential. Eric Gomez. They have potential. They definitely have potential. They'll iron it out. I didn't like those 4 guys in the ring, man. I didn't like those 4 guys in the ring. I really, really didn't. You know what I mean? Nah, not one bit. I was like, man, what are they doing in there? Man had jeans on, his hat to the back. I'm like, man, come on, dog. You know what I mean? What else? And I think every fighter deserves their own ring entrance. That's all. Every fighter that they should have had a budget for the ring entrances for Terrence Crawford. I love the fact that Terrence Crawford brought his family to the ring. I thought that was beautiful. What else? And as it comes to me as we talk, I'll bring it up some more. And then Earl Spence gets into a car accident. And one of my thoughts last night was I'm not sure if you guys saw my video, but I talked about fucking up divine timing. And I think Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford are playing with God's divine time. And what I mean by divine time, when things are supposed to happen, you better do it. Because I thought it was pretty ironic. Earl Spence gets in a single car accident on the same day Terrence Crawford has the fight. If I'm Terrence Crawford, I got to make this fight, dog. If I'm Earl Spence, I'm like, I got to make this fight. And when you fuck up divine timing, God bless you. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm glad he's okay. And I would just encourage Earl. And the one thing I didn't like about Terrence Crawford, he talks so passive about the Earl Spence fight. He doesn't have a sense of urgency as it pertains to the Earl Spence fight. I would like him to have a sense of urgency. I would like him to respect his fans and have a sense of urgency and be like, no, I'm going to call Earl. I'm going to call Earl when I get back from vacation, and we're going to figure this thing out. I intend on calling Al Heyman when I get back from vacation, and I'll see where we are in negotiations. Earl Spence is very forward. He put out a T-shirt that said, I'm knocking on his door and I'm calling him. What's up? And I like that type of conversation. I respect that type of conversation. I don't like Terrence Crawford's passivity. I want him to be more aggressive. You know, and but I'm telling you guys, if you guys in the chat, you guys that's going to watch it on the replay, thank you. Don't play with God's timing. I'm telling you, if you play with God's timing, you're going to be chasing life for a long time, okay? And not pursuing life, but chasing life. And then Teofimo Lopez, man. I saw another clip, man. Hey, I got to play this other clip, man. This other clip is powerful, too. I don't need to play the clip that everybody heard by now. Hey, Dad, do you think Hey, Dad, do you still think I got it? hey, Dad, do you still think I thought that was pretty telling? You know what I mean? On something I told you guys was going to happen. I told you guys that he was going to have a breakdown, and y'all call me the extra hater and this and that, and it's cool. I'll be the hater. But the one beautiful thing is when it happens, I'm gonna be the expert. I'm like, man, Fred said that was gonna happen. Yeah. Fred said that was gonna happen. Yeah, for sure. But I want to find this clip of Teofimo. I think this is it right here. Damn. No, that ain't it. Arrives in the arena. Damn, man. Is it Fight Hub? Oh, it's right here. Look at this shit. Hey, this is very telling too. I don't know if he lost last night because I wasn't scoring it, but the way I feel, sports fanatic, you could be right. You understand what I'm saying? You could be right. Right. What's more aggressive? But Terrence Crawford ain't got that 25 million. They do. All right, let's watch this together. And I thank y'all for fucking with me. Is this it? Watch this shit. I want you guys to watch this very intently, okay? Watch this very intently. I'm gonna fast forward it. And Teofimo's wife whispers something in Teo's ear. Watch this. I need to fast forward it. Let's see, where am I? Oh, here it is right here. Watch this shit. Watch this shit right here. Here it is right here. Watch this. Watch her energy. Watch.
Hey, Tio, were you upset that it was a split decision?
He wasn't boxing. He was running.
Follow it. Pay attention.
He was running. Like Floyd does. So like if you're going backwards and you start throwing combos, you're more legible to get knocked out than just backing up, and just throwing one hand at a time. Come on, man.
Now watch the wife as she leaves the locker room, and watch what she has in her hand, and watch who she ignores.
How pissed were you that it was a split decision,
bro? That was crazy, bro. You know, they had it like what, 97, 92, 97, something 91.
96, 93, and then 95, 94 for what I'm saying, bro.
Did y'all see that? I'll get you in a second, Jerry. I'm gonna open it up. Did y'all see that? Teofimo got a lot of problems on his hand, Jerry. Got a lot of problems on his hand. His wife is not interacting with the dad. The dad needs help. The dad has codependency issues. Oh man, it's rough. It's rough to be a Lopez. It's rough being in the Lopez business. And it's sad. It's really, really sad that this happened. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Jerry, and call it. It's really, really, it may get worse. It may get worse, Roland. It may get worse. What do you think about Blue Blood's job? Did you agree or disagree with his scores? His wife don't rock with him at all. He just walked by him, but she interrupted his interview, took the kid in the locker room, and left. Wow. I like Blue Blood. He got one right. He got one right, Jerry. He got one right, Jerry. I was impressed with Blue Blood. He did his job. Blue Blood is in his pocket. What's up, Jerry? Did you watch the fight?
I didn't watch the Crawford fight.
Okay.
But I did see it today. Lopez, I got to be honest with you, man. People making too much of a big deal out of that fight last night. That guy that he fought retired Mikey Garcia, outboxed Mikey Garcia. I knew he was going to have problems with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Thing about that guy, Sandor, is he's only fought in the States a few times. And just like it happens so many times where the fighters that we're most aware of are the ones that the promoters and the networks push. Not 9 times out of 10, but a lot of times, unheralded fighters are just as good, but they don't get the push. For whatever reason, they just don't get pushed. Now, Teofimo Lopez gets a fair amount of push from Top Rank. And he also, a lot is expected of him because in his short career so far, he's really dusted off some nice quality opponents, and then he pulled off that big upset against I don't know if it was a big upset, but he beat Lomachenko, a pound for pound guy, and then of course he ended up lost to Kambosos, and he's very outspoken, him and his dad, so he gets a lot of hate too. And I just too much is being made of that fight last night. His dad is right. The Martin, he's a difficult fighter to fight because he moves. He's constantly moving. Now, was he running? At points, what I could see, he was running. And what makes him tough is he doesn't punch much. So you get very little opportunity to counter punch him. That's where Mikey Garcia had problems with him. And he outboxed Mikey Garcia. And we all know Garcia retired after the fight. He wasn't talking about retiring at no point that I can remember, but he got in there and as Mikey's brother said, well, he wasn't, himself. Bullshit, man. He was himself. That's why he retired, because he was in there to fight, and he flat got beat by Sandor Martin. That guy's a good fighter, but he's a very tricky fighter to fight. So the fight wound up being kind of boring. Now, Teo Lopez, what I would say about him is he shouldn't rush to fight the top guys like Regis and Josh Taylor. He should take a couple fights to get acclimated to that weight. And he also has to add a couple wrinkles to his game, like Andre Ward was saying, because Lopez at 135 had a strength and size advantage, and he's got really good hand speed and power, but he's able to walk guys down and kind of get to them and stuff. And last night, it was the same thing over and over. He kept chasing the guy and chasing him. And then when he would try to get him, he was unloading power punches where the guy was just too fleet-footed. You're not going to land him. You're not going to hit him with it. So if it's not too late for him, which it could be, because these guys, a lot of them been fighting since they're little kids, he's got to learn how to not load up so much, because at 140, he's not going to be able to just walk guys down and whack them out of there. Also, I'll say about his dad. His dad was good enough as a coach when he beat Lomachenko. So if his dad was good enough as a coach then and the entirety of the rest of his career, amateur and professional, his dad is not the problem. Now, I remember when Trinidad and his dad won Fighter and Manager of the Year. Trinidad then took a couple losses, moved up in weight, fought some better fighters. All of a sudden, everybody wanted to blame his daddy. Same thing with Shane and his dad. Shane and his dad won Fighter and Trainer of the Year. Shane had 8 stoppage victories at lightweight. He looked like a phenom, but then Shane moved up in weight, and he started fighting some bigger and better fighters. He got a couple losses. Right away, people went, it's his dad. No, it's not his dad. His dad was there through all of his successes. Now it's just convenient to blame his dad. Same thing, I think, with Teo's dad. Now, he's not the most likable guy because he runs his mouth a lot, but a lot of these fighters' dads do that. What can you say? Teo, I think it's going to be all right, but I just don't think he should rush at that weight, and we'll see how things play out. People shouldn't be too shocked that he had a little of a bad time in that fight. The Bud Crawford fight, what I've seen, he had a very healthy crowd there, and that was encouraging to see. I think 18,000, that looked like a good crowd. It was tough for me to tell the production of the event because what the stream I was watching on YouTube was a little bit ghetto, but I'm just glad that the fight came off because I was one of the doubters. I was 50-50 all the way up till the day of the fight that it might not come off. And I've seen plenty of independent cards not come off last minute.
Right.
Not just the most recent one, but Triller when they was doing the Lopez Kambosos fight, and other times. A lot of times those independent fight cards, they get canceled the day of for various reasons, but not. It came off. Bud had a good crowd there, but it's never been a problem him drawing in his home state. That's never been the problem. The problem is the pay-per-view numbers. I wasn't disappointed too much that he didn't call Spence right out because the flat-out fact of the matter is he and Spence don't make the fight. They can call each other out all day. They're probably sick of talking about each other. But in the end, they're not going to finance the fight, so it's really not up to them if they're going to fight. They can want to fight. I'm sure they both want to fight each other, and they can agree amongst each other, the two of them, but who's going to finance it? They have to find someone who can finance it, and if they do, then Spence has to get Heyman's approval, likely, to even go forward with it. So Bud's probably sick and tired of talking about Earl Spence. We all know that he wants to fight Earl, and I'm confident Earl wants to fight him. Bud has said several times that Earl wants to fight. He knows that he wants to fight.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's just not up to them. The ESPN card looked good on paper. As it played out, I don't know, man. I wasn't too impressed. The heavyweight Anderson, I mean, they just force feeding this guy. This guy's the next great. Well, we don't know that. They've been feeding him tomato cans, and he's been knocking them out. Okay, so did the super middleweight dude, had like a Belinga. Did the same thing. When they were feeding him cans, he knocked everybody out. As soon as they upped his opposition, we seen what happened. I'm not going to say that's going to happen to Anderson, but if you watch the fight, in the first 60 seconds of the fight, he got hit with 4 power shots, the same shot 4 times in a row. And he was even wobbled from it. And all that dude he fought did was punch back a little bit. Anderson's a good fighter in the making, but it's way too crazy early to say anything else. He's athletic. He's got good speed. He has the physical attributes to make for a good fighter, but people get crazy with their overestimation. I mean, this guy hasn't fought nobody. And yes, he's good enough to beat these guys, but I did not like what I seen from him in that first round. I mean, he got hit with the same shot 4 times in a row in less than a minute. Yeah, and those shots had him buzzed, man. Now, after that, he came back and threw like 111 punches or something within the next 3 minutes, which was insane. So that was good. The other guy on the ESPN undercard, Keyshawn Davis, he looked good, but I mean, he was in there against a 35-year-old dude who was super slow with his hands, super slow with his feet. Davis was hitting him anytime he wanted to, but he couldn't knock him down or stop him. Ward didn't seem, like he said the rounds are better for him to get the rounds. But I agree with Bradley. I think he should have been able to stop that old dude, man. That old dude was a trail horse, and he was slow as hell. And so, at the rounds, I would say it would have been good to get the rounds had he been getting good work, but he wasn't. The guy was just a moving punching bag. And I felt like he should have been able to stop him. These guys got to go watch tapes of Ray Leonard. Ray Leonard knew how to get stoppages on tough guys. He just let his hands go with, 10, 12 punch combination, and the ref would just have to stop it. And lastly, the Puerto Rican kid, he looked pretty good, but I don't know. The whole card looked, like I say, it looked real good on paper, but as I watched the fights, I don't know. They just didn't seem that good to me.
Yeah, now it's time to up the matchups. They didn't pan out in terms of the competitiveness. I didn't see the Keyshawn Davis, man.
Well, he looked good. I mean, he's a hell of a prospect too. I mean, he's fast hands. He's got a fighter's spirit, And I will say in his defense, there was probably several rounds where the stoppage was close. The doctor came in a couple of those rounds in between and told, oh boy, look, you got to get going. But he didn't have any power, you know what I mean? But
Keyshawn Davis didn't have any power?
No, not Keyshawn, his opponent. He didn't have any power, and he was slow, and, But see, I mean, it was a typical card for upstarts where that's what they're going to do. But that's why I learned in boxing, man. I don't jump on no one's bandwagon too tough until I see them maintain that as their competition gets better. You see what I mean? And then we can tell, okay, is this guy really that good, or is he a product of promotion? Like Berlinga is probably a good example.
Right.
And in the first 12 fights or so, 13 fights for 90% of fighters, as well as I do, they don't put them in there to get tested. They put them in there to look good. And so, granted, you could even lose at that rate, but that's what that card was. It looked good on paper, but it was
it definitely. What was your initial reaction to Earl Spence's car accident?
Well, I didn't know much about it and still don't. But what I understand is, or at least a little I think I know, is somebody hit him.
Yes, I believe his car was parked, or he was at a red light, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with God's greater plan because, frankly, brother, I just don't think God pays much attention to prize fights.
No, it's not prize fighting, but I'm saying like when you delay things, you
Shit can
allow
happen, yeah.
you allow
Yeah.
more variables to come in.
Sure.
Yeah.
But again, at least my opinion is I don't think the fighters are the reason for the delay. I think, you know, if Bud Crawford has a reasonable a deal on the table, I think he would take it. But, you know, it's so hard to say what is fact and what's fiction in these negotiations because, you know, for several different reasons. But, I mean, he negotiated for almost 6 months. In the end, from what I can gather, he wanted to see the books to make sure he wasn't getting screwed, which can't blame him for that.
Right.
And I can't blame him for that. And they weren't able to make a deal, and he had that fight on the table. Good money to fight an opponent that he was expected to do what he did too. And so you can't blame him, man. You can't blame him. And Spence has a boss, just like Mayweather used to say about Pacquiao. Mayweather used to say, "I can fight who I want, but he's got a boss."
Right.
And it's no different, you know, with Earl Spence. He kind of got to do, even if they came up with an alternate financer, he probably still has to get Al Heyman to sign off on it, and probably he won't do it, you know. So a lot of the fighters, they catch all the grief, you know, like you look around YouTube channels, the internet, this and that, you know, people going on for hours and hours just dogging the fighters when little do they know they got next to nothing to do with it. They're not financing it. So when you're not financing it, you can only agree to so much. You can only do so much. At the end of the day, that's why Mayweather, Oscar, and now Canelo, if you notice, the guys that are truly free agents are the guys that were the biggest stars. And the reason for that is they don't need the promoter to finance the fight. So they can fight. That's why Canelo can move around and fight who he wants. That's why Oscar had it the way he had it. Floyd, of course, was pretty much able to move any way he wanted to move because he didn't have to rely on a promoter to finance the fight. And if more boxing fans just simply understood that simple little thing there, well, you know, I'm just sick to death of talking about it because I know that's how it works. But you hear people just going on for hours and days and months.
Right.
Oh, Earl did this, and Earl's cousin said that,
and Jerry said this, and Jerry said that, and Birdman said Bud wants to fight Spence in the next life. And we got Mr. Henderson on, so he can put some seasoning in this conversation, man. Because you talking with no seasoning, man. What's up, Mr. Henderson?
So I do got Fred.
Yes.
I want to get into the AB thing because you did say that when AB is obligated to do press, he gonna start talking.
Oh yeah. I did say that. I forgot I said that. Yeah.
So, but I am curious because they are with BLK Prime, and you know, apparently Terrence Bud Crawford was paid handsomely, right?
Yes.
But these pay-per-views are really gonna, you either need a dancing partner or not, right?
Right.
But I am curious. Do you think Adrian Broner outsells?
Oh, for sure.
Terrence Crawford?
Yes, without a doubt.
Without a doubt, right?
Yes, without a doubt.
And that's unfortunate.
That's not unfortunate.
Well, for
you
me,
get what
it is
you get what you negotiate. You get who you are. You get what you put in.
I get it, but I just see Crawford as a dedicated fighter and a far better fighter, and Adrian Broner is not dedicated to the sport of boxing.
Well, if life was fair, I'll be in the back of the line. I'm 5'7", black, dark skin.
Yo,
so you get what you put in. You get what you put in.
Exactly. Jerry, one thing
I'm not arguing that.
I know
that's how it works. I just think it's unfortunate for a fighter who's dedicated to the sport to be outshined.
No, Jerry. See what you're doing right now. You're being very disrespectful to the times that we're in. If you think Adrian Broner doesn't take the sport serious, he took his brand serious enough, which is why he is capable of outside. When Broner was up top, he was very accessible to everybody. You know what I'm saying? His Instagram was lit, his YouTube channel was lit. He was making so people know who Adrian Broner is. That's all I'm saying. And that of the mere of him being good at one point in time, name recognition, you know, he'll outdo Bud. Bud doesn't do enough. That's just the truth. Like if Bud,
I'm not arguing that he won't outdo him. I agree with Fred. I believe he will probably sell better. But like I said, I already said what I said, and I stand behind it. Adrian Broner has lost multiple times. He had a little run at 135 where he was overmatched in opponents, and he got a ton of promotion from Mayweather. They pushed him. He made sex videos and did clownish, outlandish shit, and he got.
oh, so you was following? Okay,
and he lost pretty much to anyone that he fought. His biggest win may be Paulie Malignaggi, to be honest with you.
And
get terribly out of shape in between fights. I don't see Crawford doing none of that. Crawford is a pure fighter dedicated to the sport. No different than Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler never was popular. He just wasn't, and it was kind of sad because Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns, to a lesser degree, they were super popular. But Marvin, you couldn't shoehorn Marvin, and he just was not popular, even though he was as good as those guys.
I mean, I would say I watched Terrence Crawford. I was a fan of Terrence Crawford last night, ironically enough. And
how do you look, Fred?
Yeah, rounds 4 through 6, he looked fucking good. He looked tough. He
carried that guy, man. He wanted to put on a little show for all those fans that was in there. He took a few punches, but that's what I like about him and Spence. Those guys they don't look to jab and grab and hide behind their shoulder and run and clinch all night. They're not afraid to take a few punches to make a good fight. And Bud Crawford, that's what I've seen him do. And when he was ready to turn it up on him, lights out. Knocked him out cold.
Yeah, he looked good, man. He very impressive. Punch selection was great. Accuracy was amazing. Poise, calmness was superb. Rounds 4 through 6, he looked like a world beater. When I looked at Avenetian, I replaced him with Earl Spence, and I'm like, I don't know if he can handle that Earl Spence pressure. I'm very interested to see his punch placement against a guy like Earl Spence, because you got to give a little, that right hook to the body. That means, yeah, it's devastating, but that means Earl's left hand is coming, so it's a very compelling fight to me. I'm more convinced Earl Spence beats him now.
Yeah, Fred, I would say I didn't watch the fight. Dave and Ebony, like, I come to this platform get educated.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I've seen enough that I know, Terrence, you got to see Earl. That's it. I'm not interested in who they fight.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but it sounded like maybe Terrence carried him. I mean, according to what Jerry's saying, right?
He carried him a little bit.
So he played down to the comp, and then he sent everybody happy with a finish.
It was a beautiful knockout, man. It was beautiful. Oh, it was beautiful. Oh man, right uppercut, left hook, like you do.
Yeah, he had a lot of fans in there, man. So I think he wanted to put on a little bit of a show for his fans, and that's just what he did. He took a couple shots from Avenetian, but nothing he couldn't dust right off.
Mm-hmm.
It's such an intriguing fight between him and Spence because Spence has that pressure style.
Right.
Spence is a he's a pure badass. He's constantly coming forward. He's got great punch selection. He's got great endurance. I mean, he just keeps coming. He reminds me a little bit of Roberto Duran at lightweight. He just keeps coming at you. He's not hitting you with the hardest punches every time that he can throw, but they're hard enough, and they just keeps fucking beating you down. But Crawford is a different beast, though, and that's what makes the fight so good. Crawford's a sniper. As soon as you fucking give him the slightest little opening, bang, lights out, and he's a killer finisher, and he's got crazy good power. Like you wouldn't think. I mean, he doesn't look like he would be the most powerful puncher in the world, but he is power, man, between the timing and the natural power that he's got. You know, but Earl's shown such a great chin too, because Earl took big shots from Kell Brook, big shots.
He did,
and Kell's a big welterweight. He was, and so.
He fought the uncompromised Brook, right? Earl fought the uncompromised Brook.
Well,
Earl fought the uncompromised Brook, right? Before the eye damage. That's what Terrence got a hold of him.
Both him and he and Porter.
No, they were both damaged when they fought. Brook was damaged in both fights, because when he fought Earl Spence, he was 6 months off of fighting 2 weight classes above and getting his eye socket broke.
Mm-hmm.
He came back down and he fought Spence, and that was a hell of a fight. That was a modern day classic that people, you know, if you want to look for a modern day classic, that was a great fight, man. And I think they had Brook ahead in that fight. Of course, they was fighting overseas in England, but he was giving Earl every bit of.
Well, he hurt Earl. He hurt Earl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, man, that was a hell of a fight. But in that fight, man, I've watched that fight maybe a half dozen times. Earl, man, he just kept coming, man. He just kept coming.
He did.
Coming,
he kept coming.
Yeah. And then of course, when Bud fought Brook, he did a better number on Brook, but that was years down the road, you know. So it's hard to say to me which one got the better, you know, Brook.
Yo, listen. Fred, I understand this whole. I don't understand it actually, but I respect his record, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are these dudes that Bud fought? Right, I could run down Earl shit.
Mm-hmm.
Who are these dudes on Bud's resume that is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who is it? Like, where he had these performances, you know what I mean? Where he was just, who is it? Who's the notable name?
Notable name. First, let me get Birdman. Bud wants to fight Spence in the next lifetime. I know I said it before. I'll get you in a second. I'll let this stay up again for a hot second. Thank you, Birdman. Jeff Horn was a champion. He beat Manny Pacquiao. And then he fought David Benavidez's brother, who basically is a shell of himself. He only has one leg. Kell Brook, that was his retirement check.
Amir Khan.
Amir Khan. That was supposed to be I'm a star fight, and it flopped.
Yeah.
Kavalauskas was his mandatory. He's basically the same type of opponent he fought last night. Sean Porter was credible.
Sean Porter.
Sean Porter is credible. I mean, Sean Porter, no, but
I just seen some footage.
But we don't know. But we don't know that going into the fight that Sean was a quitter.
Fair enough.
You understand? So
fair enough.
Training for the Sean Porter that lost 8 rounds to 4, and that lost by 1 round to Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? And he masked it well. He came out to war Marvin Hagler, but he quit. You know, he quit.
Yeah, so all right, cool. I mean, so I asked that because I respect Bud's record, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of 2 undefeateds fighting for undisputed, you got 2 dudes that don't know how to lose. So I, as a fan of combat sports, I'm sold already. But I saw all of Earl, You know what I'm saying? I miss this Bud, and even now the names you named, I was like, all right.
The key difference between the two of them is Earl Spence has had more opportunity to fight the top guys. The top guys happen to be in his promotion, so he had the opportunity to fight them. But let's look at it a little closer. He fought Mikey Garcia, moving up in weight, and even though he dominated Mikey, the fight went the distance, and he never knocked him off his feet one time. Then he fought Danny Garcia, and he beat Danny, but the fight went the distance with no knockdowns. Then he fought Sean Porter, and if you ask me, that fight was a draw, except for the knockdown that he scored late in the 11th or 12th round, that flash knockdown. I edged the fight to Earl by 1 point. Now, you might say, nah, but if he did win the fight by more than that, he won it by maybe 2 points. I mean, he was given everything that he could handle in that fight. So while Earl has a better resume on paper, when you really take a closer look at it, you could pick it apart just like you could pick Bud's resume apart.
No.
Bud hasn't had the opportunity to fight Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman and those guys.
But that's what I'm saying. He's facing these dudes in their prime. Look at you just said. Kell Brook gave Earl everything he could ask for. Sean Porter, everything he got. You know what I'm saying? Like, where are those conversations?
What?
With the other resume.
I mean, Bud dusted those guys off quicker. You know, he stopped Sean Porter, as you know. Nobody else was able to do that, but he did it. But, you know, Sean Porter revealed after the fight that he already said he was going to retire before the fight. He already knew he was going to retire. So you got to wonder, you know, was that the same Sean Porter that fought Earl Spence if he had told himself that he was going to retire, win or lose? Because that's what he said after the fight. You know, anytime I hear a fighter talking about retirement, it just makes you wonder, you know, okay, well, how do we know you gave the proper effort? Because at the end of that fight, I didn't think Porter was done. He was slamming his hand down on the mat. His eyes were wide open. His dad just stopped it.
He couldn't figure him out. That was the frustrating part. But he wasn't in a space where he was completely dominated. He was overwhelmed.
But he was fighting pretty good up until that point. I mean, it wasn't like he was being totally dominated in the fight. He was giving and taking like he does in all of his fights. He just got caught. He got knocked down. He didn't look to me that he was that badly hurt. And I got second knockdown. And I think his dad just said, you know what? I'm not going to let Bud make a highlight reel out of Sean. His dad was talking about he wasn't in shape, man. And you look at that guy's body in that fight, Sean Porter.
He's always in shape. He trains hard. He has a really good workout regimen. He's over there with Larry Wade.
Out of shape is in better shape than most fighters in shape. He rides that bike all the way up through them fucking mountains, swims like an Olympic swimmer. He's one of the most fittest fighters in boxing. No,
well, he was
in shape for the fight. His dad I think his dad seen a stoppage, you know, like another knockdown. He probably was stopped it anyway.
Right.
But
before we get to Birdman, we got Birdman chiming in. Boxing freak, man. Seems the older boxing fans get, the less they know about the sport. Broner helped, talking about you, old man. Broner helped put boxing back on the map. Who cares what they do out the ring? But if you're listening, tricks are for kids. Fight or get out the way. Man down. And without further ado, the man of the hour, Birdman.
Salute. Hey, Jerry, this is for you. You know, just a little quick debate. You said that Spence and Bud fought what's the dude's name from England? Kell Brook, right? Yeah, they fought him. But have you noticed when he fought Terrence Crawford, how cautious he was compared to when he was fighting Spence, giving it his all? It was just a different fight, in my opinion. The same with the old Porter. It was different. There were two different people in the ring.
Well, I don't know how a person becomes a different person.
You know what I'm talking about, Jerry. The same energy wasn't in that Crawford fight. This is the same energy wasn't in the Kell Brook fight. If those two would have fought Bud first before they fought Spence, it would have been a whole lot different, in my opinion.
Well, that's okay, but I don't have a crystal ball, neither do you. So woulda, shoulda, and coulda, they don't really count. All we can go on is what actually happened. Was Brook more cautious against Crawford? Maybe he was. I don't know. I can't say for sure. But what I can say for sure is Crawford did a quick number on him. Busted that boy right in his eye, and he was like, you know what? That's it.
But when you're watching boxing, what are you watching? Do you not watch the aggressiveness, how they fight in a fight before they fought? You know, like watch.
Of course I do, but I don't just assume that.
Fellas, y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we get you in a second.
Of course I do, but I don't
Thank
just
you, LV. Appreciate
convince
it.
myself
Welcome
that
back.
I know for sure. Yeah, you can say Brook was more cautious, and if you believe that, that's fine. I don't know if he was or if he wasn't. He was in there to fight, and he got whooped. That's what I know.
I just wanted to chime in on that Brook comment. That Brook was up.
Oh, damn.
People were saying Brook was up before the stoppage. So I'm not sure how he could have not been as aggressive. You know, some people had Brook winning. Also in the Sean Porter fight, a lot of people had Sean Porter up before the stoppage. You know, that's the main reason why he got it. You know, people were telling him he was down. So I'm not sure how it's not the same fighter if these guys was up. I think it's just Bud being effective.
People can't just automatically not be who they are. To be fair, the Brook fight against Crawford really didn't. I mean, what was it? Second round? It never really turned into a fight.
The fourth round. The fourth round. They got stopped in the fourth round.
Yeah, but it was early. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was early to fight. You know, he was doing okay from what I can remember. He was landing his jab. Brook was a good fighter. His career got mismanaged, if you ask me. But, you know, really, end of the day, I don't know. That was my point, though, Birdman, is I don't know what to make of any of it because, like I said, when I broke Spence's fights down, you could pick either one of these fighters apart if you wanted to, but I don't see a reason to. I mean, they're both undefeated. They're both badasses. I don't know. If they ever do fight, I wouldn't know who to pick.
I agree with you. I'm just picking on my dad.
As far as Adrian Broner, look, I don't hate Adrian Broner. One thing I like about Broner is typically he shows up to fight. You know, I don't see him running and clinching and grabbing and jabbing. But after that Madonna whooping, he just was not the same after that. And it's well known that he gets out of shape in between fights and he parties a lot. And
Jerry, you got to put a question mark after the Madonna fight. I ain't counting it.
He's been given a lot of opportunity while he was there. He got a lot of big fights. He even got the Manny Pacquiao fight. But he just lost a lot of fights, man. And you got to wonder, was he never as good as what he looked at 135, or was it because he just wasn't living the lifestyle of a fighter?
I think they probably rushed him a little too bit fast, and that fame got to his head. He did less work in the gym and did more on the outside. He was too busy spending that money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can believe that. That's happened to a lot of fighters, and that's a tough sell when you're young and you got all that money, and then you got to be dedicated like to a sport of boxing. The two don't really go together. Young and money and being dedicated to hard work. That's why when you see like a Mayweather or any of the other fighters that stay focused with that in mind, that's saying something, you know.
Well, I think if you're an Adrian Broner fan, I think you can trace kind of, right? Because Adrian's not shy, you know what I'm saying? He talks, you know what I'm saying? So I think there was other matters at play that were probably affecting his professional career, you know what I'm saying? On top of all that other shit that you were talking about, Jerry, the partying and all that shit.
Yeah.
But I'm rooting for him though. Like, hey, it's BLK Prime. Broner go make some noise. you got an opponent who been talking shit about you. Well, let's see. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Broner got a cult. I think Broner got a cult following. So, cult-like following. How about that? So, I believe he could go, and he gonna sell well at BLK Prime. He just better win.
He got to win, and he has a good opponent. He has an opponent that's going to hawk him and throw punches from awkward angles, and he's definitely going to test his endurance. And it's a decent pick me up fight. You know?
Who's he fighting, Fred?
Ivan Redcash.
Are you gonna fight finally?
Yeah, finally, right? Finally.
Man, he about to knock this dude out in the first, second round.
I don't know about that.
Is that the one that quit on when what's the name of those the Logan brothers had their little fight thing?
Program.
He the one that bit Danny Garcia, I believe. Bit Danny Garcia in the back.
He did bite Danny. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
they throwing him they throwing Adrian Broner a farewell party. They letting him fight that dude. That dude's, I ain't gonna call him trash. He ain't no good, man. Nobody wants to fight that dude.
Well, shit, get in there, get some rounds, get some sanctioned rounds, and I guess that they're already starting the Regis Pro Grade talk. So
Regis Pro Grade is going to purse bid. He's going to purse bid this week or in the next 2 weeks.
They'd be foolish to bring Broner back against a top or anyone close to the top. I wouldn't do it. Not right now. He's been laid off too long, and he got out of shape too much. And you know what? If you want to have some marketing success with him, bring him back against someone he can easily whoop the ass of. And then, you know, maybe another one and try to make some money, BLK, and then try to put him in a bigger fight, you know? I wouldn't bring him back against someone tough. He come back against someone tough, get lost, lose again, then what?
Yeah. I guess
Well, you got to think about it like this, too. You bring somebody up with the easy fight, then their next fight is hard as crap. You just basically help them lose.
No, but not if you try to ensure that he stays training.
Right. Training camp's not over.
A confidence builder and keep him in the gym and keep his mind on fighting.
Yeah.
And, you know, but see, that's one thing you can give Broner credit for is he's taken on good competition. You know, now he lost a lot most of them times, but like I say, I don't know if he lost because he wasn't good enough or if he didn't treat him right.
Right.
Or if the Maidana fight changed him, because we've all watched boxing long enough to know that sometimes an ass whooping can just totally change a fighter, and he got gun shy after that fight.
True. Look at Mikey Garcia. Earl beat the life out of him.
Earl beat him out of existence. Yeah, sometimes, and Prince Ahmed when he fought Pereira whooped him so bad that was it.
Right.
And that little bad-eared fucker was making all kinds of money.
Gravedigger didn't comment on his ears, but he said one thing we all know: nobody is the same after fighting Spence. Check the history.
Facts.
Nobody's the same.
Facts, and it's just weird, bro. Like
you could say the same for Bud too, though. You could say the same thing for Bud.
Oh yeah.
Everybody on his resume, nobody on his resume is the same after him.
Yo,
I take it back.
Bro,
hey, Danny Garcia, he's stepping up a little bit. He fought Earl. He's stepping up a little bit. I ain't gonna say everybody because Danny Garcia is still doing his thing right now.
Yeah. I'm just saying, man, the competition not the same.
Yeah, Brooke
man.
retired, Porter retired.
Competition not the same, man. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, Bud taking O's though. I mean, I feel like it's harder out here to take a man O than beating the champion that already done lost before. You know, every champion Errol done took down has lost. You know,
well, shit, shit, it was thick though. Somebody was gonna lose.
It was a blueprint on how to beat the champion. That's what I'm saying. But every champion, Bud done took down. It was an O involved. So I mean, there's no blueprint on how to beat that man. He took their O.
So there's nothing left to do, but them two need to get it on. I don't want to see nobody else fight.
Man, tell Al to make the fight, man. Shit.
Fred got
Oh yeah. I didn't even get into that.
What's up? Right. Hey, what's up? First of all, what's up, man? Birdman, I ain't talked to you for
Hey, salute, man.
What's up, LV? I'll tell you what's good,
What up?
man.
What up? What up?
Yeah. I'll go off mute the next time I'm on the phone with Al. Like, Al, make the fight, man.
There you go, Fred. Someone's got to do it, man.
Hey, Fred. So,
Hey, give me his number, Fred. I'll call him right now.
Hey, we should call Al. We should call Al one night on the show. Fuck it.
Fred, you scared? You ain't gonna do it.
Oh,
hey,
I don't
Fred is
think
13.
I'm calling in to make a correction.
Okay, go
Brother
ahead.
said Danny Garcia after fighting Errol Spence was fine. Danny Garcia was in depression mode after Errol Spence, bro. What are you talking about?
Hey, how'd he do his last fight?
He was depressed.
He cried.
He fight for 2 years almost. He said it. They got a whole documentary on Danny Garcia after the Errol Spence fight.
But is he still? But
and
is
I'm
he
from
still
Philly.
fighting?
I love Danny, but Danny was doing bad after that fight.
I'm from Jersey. I love Danny too. You know what I'm saying? It's right across the bridge. But shit, you know what I mean? That's when I started paying attention to Earl. Like, who is this Earl dude?
Yeah, they're not the same after they get out the ring with Errol. All the same marks: face broke, body, ribs bruised, and ego tore up.
Well, we could say Danny took the less punishment because he had some bruises around his forehead.
I mean, Danny wasn't the Earl wasn't the same after Sean Porter fight, before the Earl fight. Actually, Danny ain't been the same at 147. Can we keep it a buck? Can we just keep it a buck at the whole weight of 147?
Facts.
Hey, but you got to say it's about Danny. Danny got hand speed. He
had
can
a
move
belt
him when he wants to.
Just bigger dudes, bro.
Shit.
He ain't got no footwork, man. That 6 toe gets in the way, man. He don't got no footwork.
I even love to see Danny and Bud go at it.
Yeah,
it'd be the same, man. He beat the shit out of him. He can't move. Danny can't move.
When Danny gets mad, he fights back, man, with power.
Danny gonna get stopped. He getting there with Bud. Just being real.
Yeah.
Stop. There ain't no sense to that.
Well, we want to see it though. We want to see all these.
We need EJ Bud. We need EJ Bud. Nothing else. We don't need to see Danny.
Oh yeah.
Danny at 154. We need EJ Bud, man. That's it. And Bud's not about to fight EJ like he did at the Ninja. I know y'all seen that and was like, oh, he gonna lose the Arrow. He's not fighting him like that. You know, he's felt his power. He didn't think it was a threat. He stayed in the pocket, got him up out of there.
He was playing with his food so people can get their money's worth. That's what he was doing.
Yeah. Even my brother was like, how can he just not be? I was like, bro, he set him up. He's going to stop him halfway through his fight.
Like that. He's not going to fight EJ like that.
He just don't want to waste his training camp. He just, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't. It's getting to the point I'm going to tell you right now. If that fight ever does get made, I will try my hardest to buy a ticket and be there. If I'm not able to be there, I'm streaming that shit. I'm not paying for that shit. You ain't gonna make me wait no fucking 5 years for some shit and still expect me to give you fucking money. Fuck you.
Right.
Dude, they gonna jack them prices all the way up when they
Hey, you know that shit gonna be hella money. I ain't paying no $80, $100 for that shit. I'm gonna get that shit for free. I pay my Wi-Fi every month, and that gives me the privilege to watch what the fuck I want. So,
hey Fred,
I gotta pay for it, man. I'll be a hypocrite if I don't.
Hey Fred, I was so surprised to hear Blue Blood on. I didn't know Blue Blood was gonna be doing the scorecard. He sound good.
He sound good. He sound like he belonged there.
Yeah,
right?
he sound real good. And I mean, I didn't pay for the fight. I took my money and went and bought that new Errol Spence T-shirt. Oh my god.
I paid for it, Fred.
Oh, you did? You bought it?
I paid for it. I put my receipt on my story on IG.
I support my boy.
About it.
Crazy.
Yep. I was supporting Blue Blood and Bud on that shit. $40, and I didn't watch it till last fight. I didn't watch. I watched like the half of the Cyborg fight. I switched it. I was going back and forth to all the other fights, but for that one fight, I said, "This is the 40." My brother was like, "So, is this the one that we paid for?" I was like, "Nah, this is the other one." I was watching Teofimo's undercard, you know, Keyshawn and Xander, watching some UFC, and I said, "Oh, watch out!" I had on my phone. Hey, Bud's about to fight. Let's go. Put it on. $40 for the fight. Fuck
vicious knockout. That was a vicious knockout.
Yep.
He hit hard. He hit the ground hard. I mean, wow.
Definitely did.
Is Jerry already gone? Jerry gone? I felt like he was a little too critical.
Nah, Jerry on the phone. He's not on.
Okay. No. I just wanted to comment on the Keyshawn Davis and the Jerry Anderson assessment on them. I think he was a little bit too critical on both of them. You know, Keyshawn In just his 7th fight, he fought a man that had 40 pro fights. You know, been in there with champions. You know, fought for world titles before. You know, never been stopped. I don't even think he never been knocked down before. So I mean, for a guy in just his 7th fight to take down a guy like that, I think that was a good performance. You know, I know everybody wanted to get the stoppage, but he never been stopped. Man, he been in there with Mikey, Devin Haney, you know, them top guys. So I think that was a good performance. And
He didn't have his corner there though, Saturday, right?
Yeah. Bomac was with Bud.
Omaha.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
I think it was a great performance by Keyshawn.
Yeah,
I mean,
think it was too. Yeah,
like you said, the guy never been stopped. My whole thing, my criticism when it comes to Keyshawn personally is because of the way he's talking like he's ready for Haney. He's talking like he's ready for these guys. Because most of the time when dudes are coming up, they're not saying that they say they suck, but they be like, I think y'all need a couple more fights I could develop. You usually get that answer from when they're early. He ain't talking like that. He's talking like, fuck 7 fights, I'm ready for whatever. But so now against this competition, you should be showing me that.
But you know his nickname is Businessman. You know, I think it's all part of his, you know, it's always part of it. You know,
I'm gonna take a man at his word, man.
It's Businessman. So he know that him talking shit gonna get him more eyes, more people to hate him, you know, more people to talk about him.
The only thing I don't like about Coleslaw Davis is that's BFTB calling coleslaw.
Oh, does he? I ain't heard.
Yeah. So I don't like that he was coming at different fighters, and Errol told him, you know, fight Frank Martin, and then he goes and jumps into the shell and say, "Well, I only got 6 fights." No, you can't.
Nah.
Say I only got 6 fights.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now, and I was there, and I recorded it off my fucking phone when I was with Kyle at Teofimo's last fight, not this one, the one before in Vegas. We talked to Keyshawn personally. He said El Rayo and Frank Martin at the same time. He beat both their asses, and he said that then. So I don't know what the backtrack is. And last I heard of him in the other interview, he said he beat him again. That he was not again like he's done it, but he said again that he beat him.
It might have been before that.
Might have been because this was in August, and we was at the little chicken spot, the burger spot with him, Shushu, and Troy Isley, and we just shooting the shit. You know, Kyle is a very charismatic dude, man. Kyle is the ultimate politician. So Kyle and DJ got him riled up. DJ told him about Frank Martin personally. DJ told him, I don't think you ready for Frank Martin and El Rayo. Obviously, El Rayo has been knocked out since then, so kind of looks like on that. But he said right there, because he's like, and I said, your boy, ooh, he was real cocky about it. Like, he ain't worried about Frank Martin like that. So, I mean, we'll see in a couple weeks which one of these two prospects are better, though. Because Frank Martin did have a late start to boxing, and Rivera's kind of, a little more seasoned. But we're going to see who's better out them two first.
Is it me or do Coleslaw look like my man from Harlem Nights, the boxer? He's my ready.
Nah. Teasing me. Oh man.
I'm back in the chat.
Thank you, man. It's great seeing you again, man. Thank you, dog.
Always.
What's up, Doc?
What's happening? How you guys?
I was thinking about calling Al Heyman on the show. What
doing?
You think?
Call me Mike. Call me Mike and Michael, Fred.
We got some
about boxing.
We got some
anyway,
19-year-olds.
I enjoyed that fight. I did not watch the. I didn't watch the ESPN
really thinking
fight.
About calling Al on the show, man. Fuck that.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it one day. We're gonna build it up. We gonna make a show where we calling Al Heyman. That's gonna be fun.
Ooh. Is he gonna answer your call? I don't think he like you no more, Fred.
I don't know. I got his number.
Yeah, but I thought Terrence Crawford, I think someone else said that he carried that other guy. It looked like a sparring match. The first 4 rounds. It looked like he was just sparring with him. And then he finished him. Then he just went ahead and finished him. But that Spence Crawford fight, that'll be the best fight in boxing if it ever happens.
Ooh. What a hellacious fight.
That'll be the best fight. So I thought it was a good fight. I didn't get a chance to see Teofimo.
This motherfucker got 47 names.
What happened with him? He won, right?
He won, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't a good performance.
Right. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see that because I was watching the Crawford fight. But I think ESPN Plus, I'll go back and look at it sometime this week. I enjoyed the fight. It was only $40. The
Commentary was pretty good.
You didn't end up going, Mike?
I did not. I couldn't get a good seat, and I wasn't gonna sit in the nosebleed.
How far away were you?
No, just
How
about
long is
3
that
hours,
drive?
2.5.
Oh, that would have been a nice ride for you.
That'd been nothing.
That would be a nice ride for you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You and your boy, you and your wife. That
Here's
was
the
a
thing.
nice ride.
I've been to fights before, and when you don't get a good seat, it's like you're looking at a Megatron. You're looking at the TV and the ceiling. I hate that. So if I couldn't get ringside, and by the time I tried to get my ticket, there were no good seats left. The one I saw was like $900, but it was back in the stands. So I wasn't going to be able to get close to the ring. So I want to be close to the ring where I can actually see the fight.
Right.
So anyway, didn't go, but I did watch it.
We got KB. Then I'll jump to you, Jerry. I hear you about to breathe on us. Hey, KB, go ahead.
What up, y'all?
Hey, what's up?
Man, BLK Prime did a damn good job, I thought. You know, the commentary was good. It seemed like it was real, like it was like free flowing, you know what I mean? Like there wasn't no hiccups, you know. Man, so shout out to BLK Prime, and I will be buying that Adrian Broner fight too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
How much is that one going for? Anybody know? How much is that one?
$39.
Same thing? Okay.
Yeah, that ain't bad. No.
I might do that.
Not bad at all. The
And you got-
production was good.
Who's Broner fighting?
Ivan Redcash.
Thank you.
Oh hell no, I ain't paying for that shit.
Hopefully he actually fight though, because you know Ivan Redcash, he would try to
Come on, man.
get out of fight quick.
God damn.
Hey Max, was the quality of the stream good?
It was good, man. It was good. It didn't buffer on mine at all, and I was on the Fire Stick.
Yep, it was real good. Yeah.
I was actually able to go to the .com because that was one of my worries. But if I bought it, how was it going to stream? I went to the .com on the Fire Stick. I had it bookmarked, so I was going back and forth between that fight, UFC, and Cherry, all the way through. Good, it's good. Look good too. HD, no buffer.
I got it on Dish, and all they had was standard definition. They didn't have HD at all. So, but it was still okay.
Oh yeah, well I don't know if it was HD. I'm just saying like it looked clean. It could have just been standard, but it looked real clear.
Yeah, I just went to my web browser. I was trying to find it in the App Store, but I couldn't find it on my TV in the living room.
Yeah, I couldn't either. I had to go to the little the website.
Yeah, I went to the website and got it done. The only thing is that I would say that they got to fix is the play button and the settings button shows up on the screen when you're watching it. You know what I'm saying? Did you notice that, KB?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I noticed it.
Yeah, it should fade out. It doesn't fade
Wait,
out.
on full screen? What was that?
Yeah, when you go full screen, you still see the play button and the settings.
Oh, I didn't have that problem with my shit.
Yeah, I did.
It was nice not paying $80 for it.
It did feel good not to pay $80. I ain't gonna even lie.
Yeah,
That feel good.
That's $74.99 plus tax.
Right.
Yeah,
that's over $80. So that was
yeah. It was a $40 that was well spent. I think
it's easy to spend $40.
Yeah,
you know, it's a whole lot different when you saying 80. You know.
Yeah, and then it's $80 for some bullshit ass fight. Like, man, I ain't playing this shit.
And I don't think it was no tax. I gotta look.
Hold on. I gotta be honest though. It was a bullshit ass fight, regardless. Right? Like none of these fights this weekend were good fights. None of them.
I mean,
I mean, some of them ended up being good fights. Let me take it back. Some of them ended up being good fights, but every single fight was supposed to be a showcase fight for the main fighter.
On ESPN.
There's no real competition. There was no 50-50
Jerry
fights.
Forrest was a valuable opponent, though. I think Jerry just showing his greatness by getting him out there.
Dude, that dude was hell no.
Jerry Forrest ain't never. He only been stopped.
No.
He only
That
been stopped
motherfucker ain't
one
won
time.
in 3 years.
He only been stopped one time. He only
But
been
he
stopped
hasn't
one time.
won
and that
a
was Jerry
fight
Washington.
in 3 years. How is that a good opponent?
That's a debate because you know he got that controversial draw with Michael Hunter. You know, A lot of people
Man,
had him winning.
the announcers literally said that
That's
he
what
is
he was
known
coming
for
off of.
taking punishment. That's what they said while the fight was going on. I remember quoting that shit and sending it in the group chat.
Did you see the Michael Hunter fight though? Did you see him versus Michael Hunter?
Yeah, that's a good fight. He
You
still
gotta
got
watch
cop.
that fight. A lot of people.
This was an Abdiel
Michael Hunter is top
Canelo
comp.
fight.
Michael Hunter is top comp, man. Did he get a draw?
Yeah, Michael Hunter is top
controversial
cop, not
draw?
Forrest.
But I'm saying Forrest beat him. A lot of people had Forrest winning that fight. So if we giving Hunter credit, we got to give Forrest his credit. If he was able to get a controversial draw with him.
Hey, Jerry
Hunter
McCall
only-
beat Lewis too. He's a crackhead.
Hunter only has 2 losses, right? He's got one to Usyk, and who else? Who else beat him?
Nah, he only got 1 loss. That's his only loss.
Just to Usyk?
That's his only
No, I
loss.
thought he lost another.
He just got 2. No, he got 2 draws. He got that draw against Povetkin, and he got that draw with Jerry Ford. He got them draw, and a lot of people thought Hunter won that Povetkin fight. I thought he did enough to win that Povetkin fight when I was watching that one. So
Yeah. Okay. All right.
If we giving Hunter his credit as being a valuable heavyweight, we got to give Forrest his for getting that draw with him. So I mean, and then he had that draw against Giles Zane after being knocked down like 3-4 times and was able to get that draw with Giles Zane. And a lot of people had Giles Zane beating Hergovich, and he one fight away from getting a title shot. I believe he the IBF
mandatory.
Right. So
Hergovich looked like shit his last fight too.
He did.
He looked trash his last fight.
Yeah,
so I said I get it as fans. We try to be the predictors. We try to be like, I was the first one who knew this guy was gonna be good. So we just crown motherfuckers before they even earn it. Like, no, these are not good. These are C-level fighters, D-level fighter probably. Really, to be honest, he had a good fight. Motherfuckers have moments. Not everyone don't suck all the time every day. Even a broke clock is right twice a day. But ain't nobody. I've never heard Forrest mention one time when you say give me top 10 heavyweights, give me the next wave of heavyweights, give me. I've never heard this dude's name.
No, you not. You gotta take your time with these heavy. He only 22 years. Feel like they moving him in the right direction. Like I said,
I guess where Devin Haney was at that age.
I mean, undisputed. He undisputed. He's 23. Yeah, this heavyweight though. I mean, it's different when you fighting them little niggas, and then you get up to heavyweight and you find one punch, you out of there. So,
Now this tank
you gotta take your time with these heavyweights.
Before you go, Doc, I know Jerry probably want to chime in on.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang up.
Yeah.
Hey, but the tank card.
Damn.
The tank card that's coming. Is that a PBC?
Yeah, it's a PBC. Showtime.
That is Showtime. That's PBC. I hate that. I thought Tank was doing his individual thing now.
$80 holla. It's gonna be an $80 holla. $80 holla.
Stream season.
They're fucking crazy. They're fucking
That's a stacked card though.
Oh, Tank's case starts tomorrow, December 12th.
Damn.
Yeah. Interesting.
Hopefully everything will works out, I guess.
I mean, I don't know. I saw the video, so I ain't got no dog in the race.
Oh, damn.
So Tank
what you got for us, Jerry?
PBC.
Crawford is one of my favorite fighters, but I didn't buy the fight, and I'm gonna tell you why. The fight was a bullshit matchup. I'm not paying $40 for a bullshit matchup. And as boxing fans, we got to be careful, man, between supporting the fighters and paying for shit that we shouldn't have to pay for like that. Because what's going to happen, now you got Adrian Broner coming back after a long layoff against an unheralded opponent and $40. Unless you want to pay for every single time these fighters fight, we got to be careful about how we support it. I'm not, I got multiple truck payments, mortgages. I'm not in a place to spend $40 and $80 every weekend to watch fights. Now, I will spend, I don't have a fire stick. I don't mind supporting fighters. But I decided after the last Tank Davis pay-per-view against Romero, and I bought all the Tank's pay-per-views, that I'm not paying for no more pay-per-view unless it's a straight-up bona fide pay-per-view fight. You want me to reach in my pocket and pull out cash? I already have Showtime and DAZN and ESPN Plus, so I'm spending money every month to get fights. And I don't mind paying for a pay-per-view, but I ain't paying unless it's a pay-per-view worthy matchup. You getting, because next thing you know, it's going to be everybody. Any fighter that fights, no matter how unheralded the opponent, they want you to pay $40. And yeah, 40 is not 80, but that's how they get you. Now you got people saying, like the guy said a minute ago, yeah, 40, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. Well, no, it's not that bad if you compare it to 80. But if you ask yourself, is this really a pay-per-view fight? No, it's not. So 40 is bad if you ask me, if you're going to fight a guy that you're a 20-1 favorite to beat.
Yo, I agree with that shit, Jerry. The only reason I bought it was for the independent, that Bud left his promoter, did his own thing, and because of Blue Blood. For those two reasons, I was like, we've been talking about fighters taking their career in their own hands, getting away from the promotion that's fucking them over. He took his own shit independently on an independent platform, got his bread. So I was like, I'll toss him a 40 piece. But normally, no, this fight is not worth $20.
No, hell no. Same here though, Mix. That's the reason why I paid for it too. Blue Bud and the independent thing.
Yeah, I don't think anybody bought it because they thought it was going to be a great fight.
Hell no.
It's just it's going against the grain, going against the status quo that exists right now, which is ultimately screwing the fans. Right? When you look at BBC, Showtime, even DAZN. DAZN's better. I have DAZN too. I've got ESPN Plus. But the bottom line is that the way these promoters are stopping fights now, they're screwing the fans. So anything that's independent of that, I think people just want to support it. I'm not going to buy that Tank, and I bought all Tank Davis's fights as well. But I don't think I'm going to support that PBC fight.
The Tank card is going to look similar to the ESPN card. You got Andrade fighting a fight that's he's going to dominate. Jerron Ennis is basically fighting a kindergartner, and Tank Davis is fighting a fifth grader. Well, he's in the fifth grade too, so I mean they doing their workbooks together. You know what I mean? They trying to figure out what blackmail is.
Yeah. He called David Evanesian a sparring partner, didn't he?
Yeah. Tank fight the sparring partner too, man.
Andrade's on that card too.
Yeah, but he's not fighting nobody. He ain't fighting nobody.
Yeah. Well, the guy he's fighting is independent. The guy he's fighting is undefeated.
Yeah. They find these guys, man.
Yeah,
he's
but he's
130. He beat Chris Colbert, so that's a big win. Man, get the hell out of here.
Hey, you know what though? Like, would y'all consider Mario Barrios a sparring partner?
No.
Yeah.
No. You think he's better?
I say he needs a little bit more work. He's gonna be a superstar.
Who's gonna be a superstar?
Well, he lost like 2 fights already. I mean,
don't mean
Barrios is
not
gonna be no superstar.
No way.
Barrios is not trash.
Especially fighting at welterweight. No way he wins the title at welterweight. No way.
I mean, if he want to star in a Mexican version of Avatar, he could be a superstar.
Well, he ain't trash, but I mean,
you mean Black Panther?
That motherfucker look like an Avatar where he get hit. That motherfucker, man. That motherfucker could have been in Wakanda too, man. All he had to do was get one of them things, and he could have came out the water like.
He's a good fighter, but Tank dog.
I ain't see the movie, man.
Tank watched
I ain't see it.
I think that shit.
He's a good fighter.
Black and Mexicans unite.
He's not a pay-per-view fighter. Let's put it that way. He's a ESPN type guy.
I'd still watch him because he got a good heart, man.
Oh, I'll watch him for sure. I'll definitely watch him.
One thing about Barrios, that he does show up to actually fight.
Thank you.
You don't see him running and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. I don't believe in a pay-per-view fighter. I believe in a pay-per-view matchup. I'm not paying to see any one fighter just fight anybody. Nah, I'll pay for the matchup if it's a good pay-per-view worthy matchup. Spence, Crawford, that's a perfect example. I'm going to pay for that fight if they ever make it. $80, $100, whatever. I'll do it and I'll support it. But that's what I say, man. We got to be careful, because especially like some people cheer for fighters to be independent, and that's great. I understand that, but not at the cost of me having to pay $40 to watch you fight a guy you're heavily favored to beat. I'm a Canelo fan. I'm not going to buy his next. If he fights that guy John Ryder, I ain't buying that shit. No sir.
It's almost like a startup business, like a business in your community that a family that you support. They're starting up a business. You'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you'll pay 5% higher than you'd have to pay at Walmart, or 10% higher than you'd have to pay at Walmart until they get on their feet. That's kind of like my approach.
I get that.
My approach with that.
But first, we got to see too what the numbers are for this fight, because we don't know that this fight sold that well. Now it did good. It did good with the live attendance, but he always does good when he fights there at home. But I'm interested to see what the pay-per-views actually reflect, with people streaming shit, and a lot of people talk shit that they're going to buy the fights, and when the fights come, they don't always, they don't always actually do it.
I ain't buying that shit.
Do y'all think that BOK is going to put it out though?
Hey, y'all gonna pay $100 for that shit?
$100 for what?
Earl Bud?
I'll pay that. I'll pay that.
I would.
Yeah. Shit. We only been waiting on a fight for what, 5 years?
They know we want to pay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, at what point do you just look like a desperate bitch? You know, like, if you waited on a bitch to give you pussy for 5 years, you still gonna take the pussy in the 5th year?
No, hell no.
I mean, it's the same shit.
No. I mean, I guess you could say that.
But like I'm gonna get the pussy still, because I'm gonna watch the fight. But I ain't gonna go all out for it. I ain't taking on a date and shit, bitch. Like, what the fuck?
Like you in a friend zone.
You made me wait 5 years for the pussy. Now you want me to take you on a date? Fuck that.
Like you in the friend zone for 5 years.
Right, you gonna friend zone me for 5 years, bitch. And when you decide that one night, now you want me to go all out? Hell nah.
You're gonna be right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna get it, but I ain't gonna call you tomorrow.
Not getting no flowers, huh?
Nah, no flowers, no dates. I ain't gonna eat it. I ain't gonna do none of that. You made me wait 5 years. And I was begging for 5 years. I was in your DMs every day. Morning, beautiful. Hey, gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what you doing this Saturday? I got an extra ticket. Nope. 5 years. Shut down. Now they're like, hey, you ready? Like, fuck you, bitch. No, I'm gonna stream that shit. I'm gonna watch it though. I'm gonna spend $100 on the barbecue meat.
You gotta know by now that's one of the last ways to get some asses, to beg for it. I've always had a different approach. Well, I've been married for years now, but back in my day, I would never press for it too much, man. Because
Jerry, you almost told on yourself. Be careful.
Yeah,
Like,
better be careful.
5 years waiting on Ashanti though. You feel me? That's like
I'm
5
starting to
years
figure out that's why Jerry
on
won't
Ashanti.
hop on these YouTube panels. That's why he call in. Who you hiding from, Jerry?
say what?
Hey, Jerry say he's a ginger. He can't hide if he wanted to.
He don't have Wi-Fi.
He gonna stand out right there with the red hair. Him.
Calling from a landline.
Jerry, old school.
Yeah, I'm calling from a landline. Yacht, I told you why.
And Jerry on the World War II phone
with the cord, the landline with the cord.
He only could talk in the kitchen and the living room.
Damn.
When I call on my cell phone, when I try to beam in, I got an AT&T cell tower that's close to my house. I could throw a rock and hit it, and I keep getting interrupted streams. That's why I call you on my landline, because when I'm sitting in my office here in front of the computer, a lot of times I'll have you show up on the computer, and that's why I called on the landline. Because
no, I didn't know it was a landline. I was just talking ish.
Damn, Jerry really got a landline. Damn.
Hey, Jerry, you won't pay for your fights, but you gonna pay for AT&T to rip you off because they service sucks.
Hey, why you got a landline still? Hey, curiosity, why you got a landline still?
Because my business.
Gotcha.
I don't like giving my clients my phone number because they call me during the day when I'm busy, and I ain't trying to hear the,
So you got an answer machine and all that?
Yeah, well, I got the service. Through,
yeah, you got the service.
Yeah, and plus my phone's cordless. How about that? So I'm out of the phone. Guess what? Right here in my office, I got one of them old school rotary black phones with the heavy motherfucker. You could beat a motherfucker to death with this phone.
Oh, man.
Yeah, my buddy was throwing it out a couple years ago. I said, let me have that motherfucker.
Jerry getting comfortable. Look at him. Jerry getting comfortable. He really in the shop. Hey,
hey, Fred.
Yeah. What's up, Mr. Henderson?
Who do you surmise Adrian Broner was talking about when when he said he ain't living off of promises.
First, let me ask Tank if he knows what surmise means. Hey,
See, we ain't gonna never get Tank on the show.
I know the politically correct gonna be mad at me, man. It's all funny jokes. Tank will laugh. Hey, he was talking about Al Heyman. Definitely talking about Al. I told you that's how he talks on the phone, man. Did y'all hear me when he was like, "Man, I'll have you in 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 3 months." You know, whatever he tells the guys, he tells them. He promises them the world, man. Al promises the world, man. The world, Craig, the world. He's talking about Al.
Broner is going to get worked over badly if he goes fucking with Rougarou. He keeps talking about Regis Progress. If I was him, I would stay away from that dude.
I agree, Jerry.
Yeah,
he's too inactive. Like,
Baby's a boxer though. He gonna run towards the smoke, man. He ain't gonna run away from that.
Yeah, but
Progress on his best day.
Progress. Right. Man. Hey, why does speaking of mispronounced names, why does Timothy Bradley call him Teo?
Teo.
Like Teo. I'm like, is
Teofimo.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Teofimo. Oh,
I didn't even watch that fight. How was that fight though? Was
Commentary
the
do you
Teo fight?
like better, Tim Bradley's or Andre Ward's?
I think they both good. I think they both good, but I think Timothy Bradley is more critical though. I think he more critical. He
way
ain't
more
holding
critical.
he ain't holding his team. So it's more entertaining. He more entertaining.
But Timothy Bradley ends up eating his words most of the time. After he says something, a couple months later, he'll eat his words.
Yeah, he's way more critical.
I like Ward's commentary a little better. Tim Bradley gets a little too. I've heard way worse than Tim Bradley. Being a former fighter, both of them. I like it when they have former fighters commentating because those guys actually know what they're looking at, as opposed to a Max Kellerman. I remember when Max used to commentate with Roy Jones, and Roy Jones used to school him every single show.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love how Roy Jones would let me know, Max, you know, you got to. And Max Kellerman is a fanboy, never been in a boxing ring, and he says shit like, "The jab is the most important punch in boxing." Okay, motherfucker, no shit. You think we didn't hear that before? He just all the same regular boxing cliches. He knows the fighters' names. He knows how to pronounce them. He knows their records. He knows all the fanboy stats. But when it comes to intimate knowledge of the sport, Andre Ward used to school him too when he was commentating with him. Bradley's not the worst I've heard, but
they're supposed to. They're supposed to.
Hopkins and Jones are the worst to me. You need an interpreter to understand what they're saying.
Well, I used to like Roy as a commentator.
I like Roy. Roy's good.
Knew the game so well.
That motherfucker so fast.
But Roy, he's a little excitable.
When he get excited, I was just about to say that, dog. When he get excited, man, you can see him bouncing in his chair when you talk. You can feel it, like you can visualize it.
I can't stand is Teddy Atlas.
Yeah,
Fireman,
Atlas. I can't.
Fireman. Yeah.
Hey, Jerry,
say what you want, but Polly's on the mic.
Paulie got them all beat. I mean, even though he canceled his own, Paulie's the best.
How y'all think Antonio Tarver did with Paulie? I think he did pretty straight.
I don't like
Antonio Tarver was good. Yeah, he was good last night.
Yeah, they'll get better. I thought there was gonna be more celebratory of BLK Prime. They wasn't as celebratory as I thought they would be. You know, first show. You know what I mean? They were clowning the fighters, man. They were clowning the fighters stuff. Oh man.
Yeah, but the production looked pretty decent, man. I mean, I thought overall, you know, for their first big shot at it, it looked pretty good to me.
He said he wanted to see the dude do cardio.
Who said that? Oh yeah, Tarver said that.
Yeah, he wanted to see the 400-pound guy do cardio.
Man, Tarver can't talk. When he was boxing, he looked like he was pregnant half the time.
Yeah, and he cheated. He was fat and he cheated. Crazy, right?
All that muscle went to his stomach.
He was on him. He got popped a couple times, right?
Yeah, so did James Stoney, Fernando Vargas, and
Didn't Roy?
Yep, Roy did in the 90s.
Roy too.
Roy said everybody said they got it from GNC.
They even said Floyd did it.
He never
Roy said he got it from Ab Cutter.
Floyd had the IV.
Yeah, Floyd was with the IV. Yeah,
Floyd
I
got
never heard no
ab
Floyd
cutter.
PEDs.
I ain't heard
that
what you
shit.
talking about, Jerry. What you talking about, Jerry?
Roy Jones, when he tested positive all the way back then, he said that he tested positive due to a product called Ab Cutter, AB Cutter, which they used to sell at the 7-Elevens at the counter. And I thought to myself, motherfucker, you got abs on top of abs. You gonna tell me you're gonna take a cheap over-the-counter supplement from 7-Eleven called Ab Cutter? Come on, Roy.
Well,
that's the funny part. These motherfuckers act like they go to GNC and get this. No, they don't. You pay for the best shit possible. You at that level, or you got dudes that got the best shit or ahead of the curve shit.
But back in the day, they banned a lot of stuff in the early 2000s. What they were selling in GNC, even high schools, you can't even drink that muscle milk in high school no more.
Damn, for real?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't eat tacos off the street anymore either.
See, but hearing of a kid
Canelo.
going to GNC to get some shit is way more believable than a multi-millionaire premier superstar athlete. Like,
herbal tea and shit like that.
Yeah, with a 12-pack taking Ab Cutter.
Hey, when Roy was juicing, that dude from Snack was in his prime, selling all them drugs.
And hey, man, like I said, the dudes that are selling them are always ahead of the people testing them. People test them got to know they exist first to be able to test them. So people that make them are always one step ahead. That's why I said all these athletes are on some type of PED. All of them. Even if it's a legal one they're allowed to use, they have a list of allowed PEDs, but you can still take them. Like they have levels that you can take of certain ones. You're allowed to put shit in your body. You're allowed to put certain drugs that they know about in your body. So this era athlete back in the day was just good old cocaine. That was it. You know what I'm saying? That's all he had.
Blanco.
Good night's rest and some cocaine, and it was go to the ring, do what they got to do.
Oh, Jerry know about the all white parties, huh?
Couple drinks.
Yeah,
I know that a lot of fighters did coke. Ray Leonard has admitted, he was doing coke back then. Lots of fighters, Pernell Whitaker, man, and the list goes on and on. I mean,
the whole NBA.
I think a lot of fighters,
in the 80s.
I think a high percentage of fighters are on some type of enhancement.
Oh, that
Just
dude.
like he said, they don't test for all the different kinds. They only test for a handful of kind. And, I mean, they all cheating to a degree. Even that snack program, to me, is...
Oh, it's legal cheating for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Legal cheating, like you said. So, if it don't come from food, you shouldn't be able to use it.
Facts.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, but that's too much like God.
Yeah.
That's one step before heaven.
Money. That comes down to money. They're not going to spend the money to do that full spectrum testing like that.
It costs a lot.
Small cars, they don't even want to do the regular testing and pay for that. So that's what it comes down to.
You guys watch that guy on YouTube? More plates, more dates.
No.
So this dude is like, he kind of turned into like the YouTube top guy for PEDs.
Oh,
and
wow.
He takes on a lot of different cases. He's been on Joe Rogan, all that shit. He's the one that exposed the Liver King recently. He's the one that's talked about McGregor shit, John Jones shit. He kind of breaks down how every drug works, how long it stays in your cycle, how testing works. So he was talking about, like, even in UFC, who has USADA as their third-party testing source, they have a basic test that covers, like the basic package. It's cheaper. It covers about 80% of the drugs. But then there's these other drugs, like such as EPOs and HGH. It's a whole separate test, and it costs a lot of money. So pretty much they either got to fail the basic test or be highly suspicious for them to spend all this extra money to test once or twice for these other drugs. So that he says he thinks a lot of the fighters and athletes are still on these other drugs because the testing just costs too much and want to test everybody all the time for EPOs and HGH.
That's exactly what I was just saying. It comes down to money.
Yeah.
Yep, it comes down to money. Back in the day, Vinny Pazienza, when he came back from that car accident, about 3 fights later, his testosterone was 8 times what a normal man should be. Now, you know, one of the drugs they give you when you're recovering from an breaking your neck like he did is steroids, because you can get steroids prescribed by a doctor, the medically approved ones. Vinny Pazienza went from being a lightweight to a muscle-bound super middleweight. Testosterone level through the roof. Talking about, I never did drugs in my whole career. All right, then.
I bet they feel bad when they get beat by a boxer who don't even have to use them, though.
Right. Hey, can you, in less than a minute, who the hell was this Liver King guy? Who was he and what was he about?
Crazy dude with a
some
beard.
dude that say he lives by the 9 ancestrals, just like eat, sleep, sun, whatever, like basic natural shit. He eats raw liver, like that's like his thing. He eats raw liver, raw hearts of wild game, and he's stacked. I mean, he's yoked. And he's gotten questioned for the past couple years when he's been on all these podcasts if he's natural or if he uses, and he's always said he's all natural. And then he just got exposed for like being one of the most juiced dudes in the history of fucking steroids.
Yeah, I follow him on Snap. He's big juice, man. You can see the pimples on his back.
Yeah,
he's raw, bloody ass meat.
He really ate the raw meat?
He eats the raw meat. He really does eat that raw meat, but he tries to make it seem like he got like that from eating the raw meat and following these 9 ancestral tenets. And he has like his own like what do you call those? Not vitamins. Supplements. There you go. He has his own supplement line. So then when he came out, he's like, "Hey guys, I fucked up." And then he's just trying to say like, "I did it for the kids, man. The kids look up to me. I want to give them hope that they can be like this and shit, bro." He didn't even take full responsibility for that shit. He tried to wiggle out of it. Like, bruh. It was one of the worst apologies of all time. It's got to be one of the worst apologies ever.
That accountability is a motherfucker.
I see he's trending now, and I saw it. Look, I'm like, he's on steroids. Like, why was it a debate?
Yeah, because he denied it. If you go on YouTube, there's like 15-minute compilation of all the different podcasts he's gone on and denied. He's like, I'm not on PEDs. My PEDs is performance, execution, and drive, or some shit like that. He always like,
they lying.
Yeah.
And they all
he's like, look at my legs. They're so small. They could never be on PEDs. It's just hard work. I work out 3 times a day. Like, he just swore he wasn't on this shit. And like that, it was like when Lance from NSYNC came out as being gay. It's like, man, we all knew you was gay, bro. Like certain dudes, like ain't no surprise. Tevin Campbell. Yep, same.
Let me ask y'all this: y'all ever eat raw meat?
No, never.
Wait,
Man, you're not supposed to, man.
Fish?
Yeah.
No.
Now my dad used to eat ground beef raw. That's an old school thing.
That's a cultural thing, isn't it?
Well, no, my country uncle ate that stuff, man.
He called you. He said you from.
Yeah,
you from
actually, I've eaten raw beef. Guamanians have this shit they make. It's like little beef cubes, and they put limited salt, so it kind of browns the outside, but the inside's like medium rare. I mean, they're small cubes. I mean,
That's an
that
abomination. If you're a Christian, you ain't supposed to eat no raw meat, man. You're gonna have it fully cooked.
Doc, did you just call Jerry from the Caucasus Mountains?
Well, I mean,
okay. What do you mean by that, dog?
What I'm trying to say is, I mean, that's more of a cultural thing. The fact that eating rare or raw meat, that's a cultural thing. That's not
serial killers type shit.
No, it's a country thing. My uncle used to eat like raw hamburger meat, man.
Really?
Yes.
I used to eat raw hamburger meat.
What?
Yeah.
My dad used to put it on a sandwich with green pepper and onion and smash the fuck out of it.
My uncle used to do that stuff, man.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's cultural, man. Yeah, that goes way back. That goes back thousands of years.
My uncle
aren't hunters supposed to eat the heart though? Is that a thing?
Man, no, don't do that.
So take a bite out the heart or some shit for your first kill.
Now, hold on, Mike. What do you mean cultural? Which culture is what I'm asking?
Oh shit!
Nah. You fell for the bait. You fell for it. You said it 4 times. We was all ignoring it. Damn, Derek.
I know what he means by culture. I'm just saying which culture? White culture, black culture, or who?
Well, I mean, most black people don't eat raw meat.
Well, most white people don't, but I'm just saying. I know some that I mean, But what I found is like my aunt, my dad's sister, she ate it too. But none of our kids, like my cousins and all of us, we don't fucking eat raw. I like my steaks well done. But I seen that motherfucker on YouTube eating that.
Damn.
That shit was gross.
Hey, don't it talk about not eating raw meat in the Bible?
Y'all eat pussy.
You're probably not supposed to, yeah.
I do.
You don't eat it. You lick pussy. You don't eat pussy.
Man, I was supposed to get off here to go eat me some food. Y'all talk, man. I don't even want no food.
Touche.
I'm getting in the chat.
Appreciate
Let me
it.
get in the chat.
Salute everybody.
Birdman.
Hey, what about raw eggs? You ever eat?
Hell nah, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I like my abortions well done, bruh.
I don't even eat eggs anymore.
I tried the eggs a couple of times.
I ain't
Hey, are you allowed to be pro-life and eat eggs still? I mean, they're chicken abortions.
Who you asking?
I eat all that shit. I eat anything I get my mouth on. If it tastes good, I'll give a fuck. Try it one time.
Man, God made these animals for us to eat. Well, y'all motherfuckers like
survival of the fittest.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Yo, you gotta read.
Like, see, I go back and forth with it.
You gotta
Like,
read the fine print when you're dealing with Max. Max will try and bait your ass in this thing. You gotta read the fine print.
I like eating all animals I know would eat me in the wild if they encounter me. So if I'm trying to eat like some bear. I'm trying to look for bears still. I've eaten gator, snake.
What I'm asking you is do you eat raw fish? Like a lot of people.
Yeah, I eat sushi.
Yes,
I do. I love sushi.
Seafood has far more bacteria than red meat does, but people seem fine with it. And they make a dish you probably know about. I think it's called ceviche or ceviche.
Yep, I eat that shit too.
Yeah,
I eat the fuck out of that.
Put the lime juice on it. Oh man.
See, but the acid from the salt and the lime is what cooks it though. It's not like all the way raw.
That's what they say, yeah. That's what they say, that the lemon juice or that cooks it. But I seen that motherfucker eating that raw meat, man. I was like, man, this is gross as hell, man.
Yeah, he's raw liver, raw heart.
You could cook
testicles.
liver if you want it, and I'm not eating that shit.
Damn.
Y'all fuck with liver?
Nah, I don't fuck with it.
That's good for you though.
And that's like a dying grandma dinner.
It is outdated. See, that's the thing. A lot of shit's outdated. Like
liver and onions.
It tastes like shit.
Yo, with gravy on it. Yeah, my grandma, boy, she used to make that all the time.
A scrapple?
Oh, yeah.
What is that? I've heard of it. What is it?
I don't know what scrapple is.
Nuts and shit.
No.
I've been eating it my whole life, and I introduced it to my daughter for when she was younger. And it smells good when it's cooking, right? Because it's pork based, and you fry it, and so it smells good and it looks good. And she, a couple bites in, and what is this? And I told her, and she was like, "Well, what is it?" And then I explained it to her, and that was that.
So what is it exactly?
It's like pig guts, intestines.
Oh, so it's like chitlins.
Chitlins.
Yeah, it's pig.
I've never had chitlins, man. That shit moves.
Really?
Hell no.
I haven't eaten them in a long time, but they was all right from what I remember. But then I found out what it was,
exactly,
or what it is. Yeah. I was done with that.
I don't recommend eating anything. I mean, right now the food is mass produced. Food is mass produced. I mean, so when you look at even fish is genetically modified, and they're farming these fish in huge tanks with
tilapia,
massive amount of even salmon.
It's probably a man-made.
Yeah. And they have to give them antibiotics in order for them to keep from carrying just diseases that'll kill you. So to eat sushi or anything that you haven't raised yourself raw, kind of stupid if you ask me, because you're going to have all types of parasites. Most of these animals that they slaughter in these large farms are, they have to cut out tumors. They had to cut, they have cancer, cut out tumors and, all types of diseases just because of the conditions. If you eat raw meat nowadays, given the mass production of food and the low FDA guidelines associated with that, you're pretty stupid if you ask me. You have to cook it to get the bacteria out.
Yeah. What if the fish is wild caught? Do that make a difference?
I think so. I think it does. That's all I eat.
Yeah, hey, wild caught salmon is way different, bro. I live
If
right
it's
here
not
off the
wild caught,
ocean, bro.
I won't eat it.
Yeah.
I don't eat anything but wild caught fish, and all my beef is I know the people who grow it, who raise the beef.
Same here. I go to a local butcher and get my meat there, and I also garden and can. I got a vegetable garden.
Oh, dope.
GMOs are a real thing, man, and they don't get enough attention because GMOs started when there was a country, I don't know which one, but they had a problem where the people had protein deficiencies, and so they looked at the number one farming crop that they grew there, which was corn, and they had these scientists engineer this corn that instead of having like a 12% protein rate, it had like a 40 or a 50% protein rate. So they figured this will help the whole country with these protein deficiencies. Well, the corn that they grew would test that it was 40 or 50% protein, but the problem is when you ate it, it was already like, it wasn't the type of protein that was natural that you could actually turn it into protein into your body, right? But what it did is it created these big giant bumper crops with these great big ears of corn, and they just grew so much better. And so they took that and applied it to commercial farming all across the board. And between that and the pesticides and the insecticides that they put on crops, and I worked at a commercial farm, and they also had a tilapia farm. The first time the feds came to inspect the tilapia where they had them in the big tanks in there, they shut it down right away because it was mass bacteria, and they wound up shutting it down 3 times, and then they finally shut it down for good. And GMOs, what they spray and put on our food, there's plenty of information out there, but unlike a lot of shit, it's not really propaganda. It's the actual truth. Mike is right. You buy food from the butcher, meat from the grocery store, man, ain't no telling what the fuck you're getting. There ain't no telling how much steroids and concrete they mix concrete into the food and all kinds of shit to fatten them cows up.
Hey,
And,
Jerry,
same way.
you know a lot about this shit. I was asking a question: why would they even bother to modify corn or put any extra anything in corn?
Yeah, the reason why they modify it is because it grows faster.
No, but I'm asking, when you eat it, that shit just come right out your ass the same way it went in. That shit don't even digest.
Okay, here's the thing. When you got to realize when they're modifying it, they're modifying the DNA, right? The structural DNA is being modified, right? That is the basic building blocks of life, right? And so they're modifying it at that level. So, like for instance, the salmon that they have now, they've got this genetically modified salmon. They call it Frankenfish. And what happens is, the last time, you can look it up on the internet, but the last time they did a study on it, they put some of this genetically modified salmon into the wild. And what the genetically modified salmon did, it ate all the natural, it turned and ate the natural salmon that was in the environment. And they grow like 4 times the size of a normal salmon, right? So, I mean, obviously, and they come to market a whole lot faster. So it's an economic thing, but they'll never tell you what the results of the byproduct of eating something like that, but it couldn't be right.
No,
it couldn't be right. So the fact is that, I would not eat raw fish or raw meat unless I knew exactly where it came from. Had to be wild caught fish, and it would have to be I just any type of beef or anything like that, I would have to know how it was raised to do that. Don't recommend it.
What if I told y'all we ain't supposed to be eating none of this meat, though? It's just society got us fucked up thinking we supposed to be eating it, but I don't think we really supposed to be eating none of this shit for real. But I eat meat, so I mean I'm not critical.
What, like burritos and shit, or what?
I'm talking about just meat, period. Just meat, period. Like I just don't think we supposed to be eating. I just society got it to where it's normal, but I don't think we really.
Here's the other thing.
No, but hear this out.
We need protein.
32 teeth in your mouth, right? 4 of them are pointy. That basically illustrates how much meat should be in your diet. If you look in the mouth of a prehistoric man, all of his teeth are flat because during that time, we weren't that really efficient at hunting. But as we evolved and we became better hunters, meat came into our diet, and so evolved 4 pointy teeth in your mouth. And that's how what I've been told. You know, that's about what your meat should represent in your diet. So you got 32 teeth, 4 of them are pointy. That means that's how much meat. Now, I agree with what you're saying. Western world has taught us to sit down to a great big piece of steak and a potato and this and that. But if you look at a lot of foreign countries, you know, you eat a meal that's got meat. The meat is a little piece. It's like 4 ounce piece of meat. Yeah, but we got it a little twisted. But yeah, you can eat meat. People talk about you can't eat meat. Sure, you can eat meat.
Man, I'm going to Fogo de Chao and eating all that shit.
Here's the thing too. What a lot of people don't realize is that, like that frankenfish that I was talking about, that's outlawed in Canada. There's a lot of countries that, and they actually came up with the technology, right? But they outlawed it. But the FDA approved it for consumption in the United States. That happens a lot with a lot of different products because really, you know, illness, sickness creates money.
Thanks.
I mean, it's just that plain and simple. So, yeah.
That's why I thought people were retarded when they thought the government was really trying to save them in those past years that just happened. I'm like, bro, the government don't give a fuck about you. They be changing the laws of the food you eat. They don't care if you die or not. All this mass bullshit.
In the 70s, they convinced mothers that chemically based formula in a can, Similac, was better for their babies than what their mother's milk was.
It's crazy.
Now, head around that.
Imagine that theory.
Yo, there is a documentary that everybody on here should watch, and it's called Food Inc. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of it.
That's the shit.
Yeah, bro. It talks about all that stuff in there that y'all.
Bro, I still eat food that I drop on the ground, so I'm the wrong dude to talk to, bro. I'm gonna die regardless, bro. So I know when I go to heaven, I'll be like, bro, I tried all that shit. I didn't just eat salad my whole life. I'm gonna have some stories to tell.
Yeah,
my diet at 65. Fuck it.
Well, let me
go
ask
back and forth with eating meat or not.
Deer meat.
Never had it.
Yeah.
Mike?
I had it.
I have.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I got a freezer full of it because my buddy just was hunting in my woods behind my house, and he got 2 deers. And let me tell you something, man. Wild venison like that is the leanest red meat you're ever going to eat. I mean, you can't find fat on it. It's just super lean. And it's got a slightly different taste than steak. The texture is the same, but it's got a little bit of a gamey taste. But it's the best shit in the world, man. Really.
Yeah, and it smells weird whenever you cooking it too. I don't know. It just smells funny as fuck. Like, you're like, damn.
Hey Jerry.
Yeah, it's a little gamey. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's a black man. That's not a deer.
What my words. Jerry, you eat niggas over there? I mean, my bad. Black people.
That's the leanest meat, bro.
Right?
Ain't no fat on that shit at all.
Hey man, you ever ate an Olympic athlete before? It's the leanest meat ever.
I had a joke, but it's probably not appropriate. I ain't gonna say
Do it.
Jeffrey Dahmer over there, Jerry. See, you see what I'm saying? It probably wouldn't appropriate.
Yeah.
Timing was bad. Mine was bad. You just should have rolled off of mine.
Yeah, you should have stayed with
Yeah. Okay.
Jesse Owens or some shit. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can tell you date white women. It's cool.
Yeah, right. Hey. I love them to death.
I bet you, Jerry. Never mind.
Come on with it, Mr. Fuller. Come on with it.
Well, I don't know. Never mind. I'll stop.
My father ate raw meat. I don't fuck with raw meat, but I like wild game meat, like a wild turkey, deer meat. I've had wild boar. I ain't no groundhog or nothing. But
have you eaten any insects?
What's that?
Have you eaten insects before? I've eaten like crickets, like fried crickets.
You know
and
what?
shit.
I don't fuck with that, man. Nah.
It's high in protein.
Man,
Yeah,
fuck that. I'm not eating no damn cricket.
Not so. The first time I had fried crickets, they were like potato chips. They were super crispy. They were like they had like seasoning and salt in them, and they were cool. But the second time, because I had them the first time, I tried it somewhere else. Them shits were not fried. Them shits were like
They look
regular,
crunchy,
bro. Them
though.
shits was nasty.
Fucking boiled cricket. Nah, I ain't fucking with that. The closest thing I've ever ate to a critter is turtle.
Oh, turtle's good.
Yeah,
I've had turtle, snake.
is good. Yeah, turtle's real
I've had
good.
kangaroo.
It got a lot of bones in it though.
Kangaroo, gator, elk, deer.
You gonna
goat.
close it up here soon, Fred? What time did you come on?
Oh, I came on a little late. Yeah, we about to get
You
out
did?
of here. As soon as
Okay.
Y'all ever had squirrel before though?
No.
No.
That's some Oklahoma shit.
Yeah.
You ever
Squirrel is pretty good.
Y'all ever had a big bone before?
Rabbit.
A what? A dick bone.
BBW.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, I've had a rabbit. I've had rabbit.
A thick bone, man. A thick bone, man. A thick
I don't
bone.
even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, I done had a few on my day, Fred. I done had a few.
Okay, we got someone new coming in the building. I don't know. Major Key Boxing.
Nah, it's not. I talked to Bill over here before. What's going on?
Welcome back then. My bad, brother. What's popping?
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. You know, I just actually had a live about this whole shit about Teofimo, man, like about this mental illness.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if y'all feel like maybe the fact that maybe there's ego involved, the fact that Junior Lopez's pops, right, Teofimo Sr., right, because he was talking so much shit about Ryan Garcia, you know what I'm saying, when he had a mental breakdown, like is it something where, you know, it's probably an ego thing, they can't admit it now, you know what I mean, because it makes them look bad because they were talking so much about Ryan Garcia, you know, is it
all the above,
right?
Mm-hmm. All the above.
I think, look, it's okay, especially with a broken household like what they're dealing with. It's okay to come out and talk about it, right? But I feel like they can't talk about it. Like it's like, you know, it needs to be swept under the rug. This doesn't happen in our household type of situation where we can't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the way it fits. That's the vibe that I'm getting from them. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I feel like if they really want to be leaders, and just kind of like push all the ego aside and just say, hey, listen, you know, this happened to us too. This is for real, you know, and we're dealing with it and we're working through it. And, you know, we're dealing with who we have to deal with, and, you know, we're going to be all right.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not doing that.
Let's I'll ask a question.
I think his wife ain't making it no better either, man. Seeing right after the fight, him trying to grab his son and bring him in the ring with him, and she just sitting there like she don't know what the hell going on. I think that has a lot to do with
I
it,
didn't
man.
see that part yet.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch that.
I didn't see it, but I just heard about it on my live too. I did not hear about that, but I feel like the fact is we don't know that personal situation. Like, she don't want the baby being involved in that, because from what I understand is like she's older than him and she doesn't get along with the mother and blase, and so there's a lot of drama going on with that whole situation.
Hey, does it seem like he's a different person or a different fighter now than he was when he was pursuing the championships with
I agree.
With you know, when he fought Lomachenko and won the titles.
Well, he had a physical advantage at 135.
Yeah, but
so you walk forward.
Do you think his approach to the game, and I mean his mentality as a boxer, is different now than it was then, before he won the titles, when he was pursuit of the titles and actually won those from Lomachenko?
It's possible because, you know, he hit a roller coaster there. He wins a huge fight against Lomachenko when he's on top of the world, even though he didn't get paid that much for the fight. Then he turns around and loses a fight he was heavily favored to win, and it all goes away. You could take a mentally strong person and that type of apex high and then, you know, clinical low like that could affect a regular person, much less a young dude who, let's face it, he doesn't come from money either, like a lot of these fighters, like Adrian Broner we were talking. So this kid in his young life has experienced a lot of success and more money than what any anybody his age would have, a super high of winning that fight and then the super low. I think people are being a little overcritical about the guy. They examine every move that he makes, every tiny little thing, and making assumptions because his wife didn't want to handle the baby or something. I mean, it's just overcritical. Now, I will say this. I can't stand it when fighters bring their kids to the fights. I never liked that, and I became less a fan of it when Cotto took that horrible beating against Margarito when his gloves were supposedly tampered with. And Cotto's young son was out there. There was Cotto, a bloody mess, and his young son was out there, man, taking it hard, watching his daddy get whooped like that. You know what I mean? Which you can imagine,
Right.
that's traumatizing on a little kid, man. The fights ain't no place for little kids.
Right, right.
14,
That baby is too
Well,
young
for
to
me-
even remember that what happened last night. He's not gonna remember last night. I think when he asked for his son, she should have been willing to give him his son. That's what he wanted. So I
Right.
mean, I
Yeah,
think it
but
was
either way, what difference does it really make? I mean, it would be
makes
way
a lot
Well,
of difference. It makes
He's
a
the
lot.
man.
That's his first
Man.
son. That's
And
his
he's the,
first son.
Yeah,
he is the man of the household, though.
yeah. Let me say this
Sure.
though. I mean, the reason why I asked that question is because even in recreation and entertainment, I always try to look for life lessons, or it's really not worth participating in. That's my opinion, and I think the life lesson there. I think the reason why he's a different fighter now is because he was expecting something that when he won all those titles, he thought that was going to make him happy. That reaching a certain destination was going to make him happy, and that's not what life is about. You got, in order to be successful Or in did he life. think? Or did he think In that order his to be, father? hold on, Yeah. let me finish, bro. No, In my order to bad. be- in order to be successful in life, you have to learn how to fall in love with the journey, not the destination. You have to learn how to fall in love with the journey, not the destination. It's the journey that makes you who you are, not the destination you arrive at. Right. So I think that's what and I had to learn that. A lot of things that we push for, we think if we just keep working, and we don't enjoy the work that we do, and we don't fall in love with the work or the journey that we have to get to our goals, we think that once we get to that goal, that's going to make us happy, and we find out that it's not. It's the journey itself we have to learn how to fall in love with.
I think he's a grown ass man. He stopped being fucking soft, bro. Who gives a fuck? What the fuck is he got to complain about? He got hella money. He's doing better than the average person his age. He's not a kid anymore. We keep saying kid. He's a grown man with a family, man at the house. He's 20-something years old. Fuck it, figure it out. People get sad sometimes. Don't let that be the excuse why you didn't do good in the boxing ring.
I don't agree with that. We don't know if he's really been able to see his son. Before seeing his wife right there ringside, it was a rumor out there that they wasn't even together and he wasn't able to see his son.
Really?
So I mean,
yeah, I thought they had split up and shit, but still, I mean, that happens. He ain't the first dude that broke up with his bitch.
But I'm saying that's his first son, 25 years old. I mean, just don't know.
I get you. Then what is going on where he can't see his son? Fill out your paperwork. Go to court. Do whatever you got to do. You're a millionaire. It's not that hard, bro. We keep making excuses for grown men, bro. Like, fuck that shit.
It's not an excuse. It's just is what it is.
So we don't know if he's seen his son. We don't know if he did or didn't. He had one job to do when that bell rang. When that bell rang, he had one job to do: leave everything outside that ring and concentrate on your goal. If he let other things get in his brain while he was fighting, that is his fault as an athlete, and he is lesser than because of that.
Do you have kids? Answer your question though. You asked the question of you know what I'm saying, like was he a changed fighter? And so I believe he is a changed fighter in the sense that he's not doing the catch and shoot. He's not throwing the feints. You know what I'm saying? It seems like after he got his little clout and then he was overweight, because I know for a fact, bro, I'm just letting y'all know, I know for a fact that first delay on Juneteenth, that shit was on Tio's camp, and that shit was bullshit. There was no COVID, there was nothing. That shit was bullshit. And I got text messages to say that shit, bro, from people in the camp. I'm letting y'all know. So all that shit right there was all delayed and shit like that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, with Teofimo Lopez, I always rooted for him, but when he got cocky like that, it's his own fault, bro. And it's partly his father though that keeps manipulating him to think that you can just keep talking shit and it's going to win you fights. No, you need a different trainer. Maybe you could keep your father there for motivational purposes, but at the end of the day, you need a different trainer to escalate you, to get you to the next level, to elevate that, because you hit the ceiling already.
Dad was his trainer when he beat Lomachenko.
Yeah, that's true, but there was already a problem in the camp. Even though he beat Lomachenko, there was already a problem in the camp.
Yeah, but I'm saying if his dad was good enough for him to train him to beat Lomachenko, I can't.
But there was already a problem in the camp, even with what's his name, Nakatani.
The problem with the guy, he's won his fight since he lost to Kambosos. It's just he hasn't looked quite as good as he did prior to beating Lomo, because in his short career, he kind of had some highlight KOs and this and that. But then guess what? He started fighting better fighters. Now he probably shouldn't have lost to Kambosos, but he did. But he's won since then. But like that fight at 140 last night, I knew he was going to have problems with that guy. That guy's a problem. Period. He doesn't.
He wasn't using the jab either, man. It seemed like he don't use it at all.
He didn't use feints like that. He started using it in the second half. Yeah, he didn't use the
First of all, whenever you fight a professional fighter like that don't give a fuck about his teeth, he don't give a fuck about shit. So you need to be careful fighting people like that. Because then Martin's teeth were fucked up. So if he don't give a fuck about spending none of his money to fix his teeth, he is 100% about boxing. He's giving everyone a hard time. But at the end of the day, Teofimo is a bitch. So
tough fight. He retired Mikey Garcia. He outboxed Mikey Garcia. So Lopez, that was a tough fight to score, but Lopez did win the fight. He didn't look good. But look, when Errol Spence was coming up, he was knocking everybody out. Then he had 3 fights against top guys, and all 3 fights went the distance, and the Porter fight was almost a draw. So would you say, is he a changed fighter after, I don't think there's too much difference in Tio. I just think he needs to take his time a little bit at 140.
He used his jab more. I think he used his jab more when he was, especially the Loma fight. You go back to the Loma fight, that's basically how he won the first 7 rounds off that jab.
Yeah,
he don't even jab.
I would agree that he's gotten. See, at 135, he had a size and strength advantage over almost everybody, and so he was able to fight aggressively and walk opponents down and load up on power punches because he's got very quick hands. But like now that he's fighting bigger and better fighters, you're not going to do that all the time. Especially now, even though he's only 5 pounds north of where he was at. He's not going to have that power and size advantage, and he has to add a couple more wrinkles because he's still fighting like a guy like, I'm just going to walk you down and whack you out. That's what he tried to do against Kambosos in the first fight, and it didn't work. And then last night with Martin, I knew it wasn't going to work. And Martin hardly threw any punches. He didn't waste any. His timing and his punch placement was good, but he didn't throw a lot. So that means no counter opportunities. And Tio Lopez was just trying to walk at him and power punch him, and it just wasn't working. It wasn't working well for him. And he didn't seem to have the next wrinkle, and that's what Andre Ward was saying. Tio, he's probably going to be all right, man, but he's gotta add some wrinkles to his game, to where he's not just doing that same thing. And his dad was trying to tell him, but he didn't seem like he was listening to him. I got a feeling he's not a guy that listens well.
And I got a feeling this show is coming to a close. Major Key, you want to give your final words?
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna say that. Look, Jared Anderson had a good fight last night. You know what I'm saying? So does Xander Zayas. You know what I'm saying? So Keyshawn Davis. All of them are coming up in the ranks. Don't believe the BS that they need to do something extra. Right now, they pulling up the right way. So when they circle the block on y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to be ready for it, but they're gonna do it. And with Terrence Crawford, look, he made his 10 million. What's everybody saying now? What's everybody saying now? You know what I'm saying? So Ebenezer made his money. Look, I'm just happy that boxing is doing what it's supposed to do for right now. Let's see what happens next year. We're closing out the year. So thank you for having me on your panel, brother. And shout out to the panel as well. Peace.
We appreciate you. Jerry, so I don't forget about you. Go ahead, man.
I would say just the opposite. The ESPN fight card was garbage. There was supposed to be prospects shining. They really didn't shine. They were in there with cans, and they looked, average for the most part. Mm-hmm. So, are they where they should be? I would say, yeah, but that's just where they're at. They're where they should be. They're still fighting cans, and you're supposed to win those fights, and you're supposed to look good winning them. I don't know that they look that good. The heavyweight Anderson, his opponent was a can. I don't care what nobody says, man. That guy was not. And even then, he was hitting Anderson at will. When he wanted to punch him, when he threw punches, he was hitting him. He caught him with the same shot 4 times in a row in the first minute of the fight, and even had him stunned. And all the commentators they kept saying was, next great heavyweight, next great heavyweight. Well, you know what? Let's wait. Let's just pull the reins back a little fucking bit, because we don't know if this guy's great. We haven't seen him tested at all, period. And it's not because he's been that good that he's, it's because of who they're matching him against. And same thing with the rest of those guys. So that's what people need to understand, man. Prospects are prospects until they prove otherwise. And beyond that, I'll just say this. Yeah, kudos to BLK, and hopefully everybody gets paid just the way they were supposed to. They pulled it off. I thought the production was pretty good. It wasn't A standard, but it was good. The whole thing seemed to come off without a hitch, and to me, as a boxing fan, that's good news and bad news, but I'll leave it at the good news for now. And everybody have a good night.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, man, for coming on tonight, hanging out with us, dog. Who's next? KB, what you got, big homie?
And I'll keep it short and sweet. Man, everybody stay safe. And if you can, in your city, stay strapped.
Stay strapped. Stay strapped. Stay safe. Stay strapped. And Boxing Freak says, Tio got addicted to clout. That's LV Slugger. Man, what's up, man? Give your final remarks.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it short too, man. Keep it short, man. But I don't agree with nothing Jerry said, man. I definitely enjoyed that top rank card. Them guys is fighting this, like I said, Keyshawn 7 fights in, fighting a guy with 40 fights, been in there with Mikey Garcia, Devin Haney, fought for world titles, never been stopped, never been knocked down. You know what I'm saying? He basically beat his ass for 8 rounds. So I mean, just because he's getting in there and beat him up how he is and making them not look as good as they are, we can't discredit him. I mean, he's 7 fights in, so I think he's on the path to being a champion at 135. I think around this time next year, we will be talking him, fighting for a belt at 135. And Jerry Anderson, like I said before with him, with the Jerry Forrest fight, he's coming off a controversial draw with Michael Hunter. A lot of people had him winning. So, I mean, that's what he's coming off of. And we seen what Jerry just did, 2 rounds. So let's not discredit just because these young guys getting these guys and making them look like they not nothing. We can't just discredit it.
Make you look like nobody. Y'all must have forgot.
Yeah, they doing what they got to do, man. I give props to both men. Hopefully these guys continue to develop. And like I said, with the heavyweights, just take your time with it. Because like I said, one punch can end it all. So they doing what they got to do with him. Continue to develop him. And Bud, Bud did his thing. And hopefully we can get the biggest fight in boxing next year. That's the Bud Spence fight we need.
Right.
We need the box, not just the hardcore, but I just feel like the whole sport, man, the casual is just
we all need it. We need it.
Yeah, we need that. So I think the whole year was a good year of boxing, but it would have been better if we got that fight. But hopefully we get it. But yeah, like I said, keep it short and simple. That's all I got, man. Appreciate it.
No, we appreciate you, man. Hey, Mr. Henderson, you're not connected, man. Doc, what you got?
Yeah, hey, I love boxing, and I like entertainment and everything, but I got to mention something that I got to mention something, man, and it's just simple for me. I think you need an outlet. So it's great to get into boxing entertainment and everything. That's great. But there's a lot of things going on in the world right now that if you are a black or brown person, you need to be paying attention to. One of the things that's going on now is the Supreme Court is taking a look at affirmative action in higher education. They're revisiting the affirmative action laws that determine admittance into higher ed institutions. If you guys know the history of that, back in 1950s, 60s, it's the first time that Harvard actually was the first. Basically, they had issues with Harvard and UNC admittance of African American students into those universities, both a private and state university. And even today, UNC, University of North Carolina, has a black population in that state of like 25%, and only 8% of their student body is black. So the even with those numbers, the Supreme Court right now is going back and they're looking at the affirmative action laws that are associated with higher education, and they're going to and it looks like they're going to be changing those laws. There's a lot of things going on right now that especially if you're a black person on the lowest level of the socioeconomic ladder in this country and really in the world, there's some things going on right now that's going to determine whether you, your children, or your grandchildren have a future in this country.
And your cousins.
So, it's great to get into boxing. Great to have fun and get a release. But if the majority of your time is spent in sports and entertainment, and you're not thinking about these issues and the strategic ways that you're going to be able to deal with those collectively, like for instance, if you're a young black guy in America and you're not looking for ways that you can actually create your own financial or economic streams of income, you're messing up. And that's a collective thing that needs to happen, where you're talking to other guys that are like-minded. Economics is one of the main things that Dr. Claude Anderson talked about when dealing with some of the situations that we're facing right now. You got to have relationships that are just not about recreation and entertainment. If you're black in this country, you need to have relationships that are about collective business opportunities and economic moves. It's just so important, man. Right now, there's a lot of things going on. We need to pay attention to it. I just named one. I can name three more right now, but I'll just say great time having boxing as a outlet this weekend, but don't let that consume you. Be about your business and realize that there's some things going on right now that are going to challenge our existence in this country over the next 100 years. That's it.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Mr. Henderson, what's up, man?
Yeah, Fred, great show.
It was a good show tonight.
Yeah, it was. Salute. I'm still waiting on that co-host application though. You can find me on Gotham City Bullies on Instagram and TikTok. Fred, appreciate you allowing me to do that shameless plug, man. And yeah, shout out to the barbershop conversation.
Thank you, dog.
All right, appreciate you, Fred.
All the time, dog. Max, man.
Oh man, I disagree with everything. No, but no, man, it's always a good talk with everything. We almost made it through. I think we almost made it through, man. But I'm excited to see what next year holds. I know PBC probably gonna blow their wad in the beginning of the year. Hopefully we get.
No, we paying for it. They ain't blowing nothing. We paying for it.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm saying their budget. As far as their budget, they gonna blow the budget.
We paying for these fights. Well, there ain't no budget if it's on pay-per-view. We the budget.
Yeah, but no one's been paying for it though. Those weak ass pay-per-views, they didn't sell shit. I mean, they sold a little bit, but I don't see how they pay their fighters off it. But these cards are cool. The ones coming up, even the Tank one, like I said, showcase cards. They're there to make fighters look good to hopefully get a bigger fight after. But it's something, man. Something's better than nothing, I guess, at the end of the day. Because some of the shit we ain't getting shit from. I like to give Tank his props for actually staying active. Tank's probably one of the most active superstars. Fights multiple times a year and shit, getting his money. So, but at the end of the day, man, I'll say this, the affirmative action shit, I think it worked for a little bit, but how would you feel if you an Asian? You know what I'm saying? I think it needs, because that's the whole reason they're revisiting laws, because Asians are getting disproportionately not admitted to colleges with better grades because they have to have spots for affirmative action. That's the main complaint. A lot of these Asians been suing these colleges and shit for that, saying it's discrimination toward them because they got better grades, better accolades, but they can't make it because there's only a certain number of people. So I think just get your grades up. You ain't gotta worry about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Be the best, whatever you choose to fucking do, and get your money, man. At the end of the day, get your money. That's it, man. And Fred, as always, man, thank you for always being accessible to the people. Because at the end of the day, you ain't gotta fuck with none of us if you don't want to, bro. So I appreciate you, man.
Oh, it's love. It's
Holla
love.
at you.
Oh, it's love. And don't forget this. We got a poll because we're doing the Fighter of the Year. Carissa Shields and Devin Haney, nip and tuck. We're gonna do this till December 31st. You get one vote, December 31st. Dimitri Bivol is hanging in there, but man, Carissa and Devin going back and forth and back. So it's right there, nip and tuck. This poll is in my community section, guys. So make sure you go out and vote. And your vote matters, as you can see. In the barbershop, your vote matters, man. And we're gonna give a trophy to the winner, and we agreed to give $500, and we have $2,150, and I guess the remaining balance will roll over to next year, and then so we'll have it for next year too. And let me know if you guys want to give out another how you say it, another not topic, but another discipline, so I don't know, but we'll see. So it's 37%. Carissa Shields, Devin Haney, they have exactly the same amount of votes. Where are the tangibles, Fred? Hey, we agree. COVID, we didn't have none. We wanted to do it last year, but there was not enough fights. We agreed. But if you think Dimitri Bivol should win, go tell Dimitri Bivol to repost. You know what I mean? And his fans come in and vote. The winner gets a trophy. And we agreed that night a year and a half ago that we're going to give $500 to the winner. And so I have the money stored, and I will cash app them the $500, and I will mail them the trophy. And the trophy should be done hopefully by February 1st. I'll order it the first week of January, and we'll do it like that. So total was probably looking at about $800. The trophy I saw is like, it'll be like $300 and the $500. So we'll deduct whatever it is, and we'll keep the remaining balance for next year. Or if you guys want to do trainer of the year, man of the year, you guys decide. It's totally on y'all. I'm one person in this vote. So tell your friends, tell Devin Haney to repost, tell Carissa Shields to repost, Dimitri Bivol. We'll do it like that, man. So we know that we matter. You know, we actually made a difference. So anyways, man, I told you, man, this was a fun ass show, man. Thank you guys, man. This poll will be up till December 31st. Inoue tomorrow. Yeah. Inoue is a top 5 fighter, man. I know no one cares, but Inoue is a truth. If you guys get up, it's at 3:00 in the morning for us. If you guys get up, go check out Inoue. He's talented as hell, man. But yeah, he doesn't speak English and he doesn't fight in America. So we're not going to care. You're absolutely right. We're not going to care. But Dre's side of the family will. It's funny, man. I was eating Thanksgiving dinner, and Dre's family says, "What about Inoue, Fred?" I said, "He's a bad son of a gun, man. He's a bad son of a gun." And I don't think I said the N-word tonight. Did I make it through the show without saying the N-word, dog? Let me pat myself on the back, man. Hey, knowledge. I appreciate you, man. Knowledge. Oh, Rivera Martin this week is going to be fun. Earl Spence. They coming for Earl Spence. Hey, this fight is going to be covered like it's a big-time fight. Every media outlet is going to Vegas to get a few minutes with Earl Spence this weekend. Earl Spence. And so that should be interesting. I really like this fight. I think it's an important fight. The winner of this fight is in the hunt at 135. Is part of the 4 horsemen, the 8 horsemen, the 10, whatever it is. They ain't fighting each other, man. I told you, man. It's like 8 guys in the Sadie Hawkins dance with no girl. You know what I mean? Waiting to get picked. Hey, man. Hey, yeah, man. She gonna holler at me, dog. You know what I mean? I bought her a cookie at lunch, man. You know she gonna holler at me, man. You got Martin. I got Martin. Yeah, hopefully they grill Steven Espinoza too. Man, matter of fact, I'm gonna post that, man. Make sure y'all ask Steven Espinoza about that budget. About the budget. And watch him give a roundabout answer. Yeah. And then say, so you're not accountable to the answer. Say, Steven, man, there's been a lot of talk online, man. And they gonna know they're talking about me, and that's gonna get Steven Espinoza excited because he wants an excuse to talk bad about me. So you say, man, there's been a lot of talk about online, man, saying, and I know it's not true, man, but talking about Showtime ain't got no money. See, that's how you get I'm giving y'all tricks of the trade, man. You know what I mean? You get the interviewee excited to talk shit about the man that's been talking shit about him. Oh, yeah, man. Hey, I used to get him like that all the time, dog. All the time, man. Yeah, man. That's tricks of the trade, man. Man, good. Have a great week, man. We got my Lincoln and Kennedy or don't be off or not off until next Friday. So, yeah, man. He a politician, man, who got a network job. You absolutely right, man. So ask Steven, what is the budget? See, you got to lead the question. Say, in years past, the budget has been around about $60 million. What will be the budget this year? And when will you announce the number? And say, what will be the budget? And then say, it's been public in the past. Do you think that so it's been public in the past, so can we expect the budget to be made public? I wish I was going to this fight. Oh, man. See, they wouldn't interview with me, so I would just bombard an interview. I would just walk in on them. You know what I mean? I would definitely go buy that first row seat on the side. I'll pay that $500 to sit right behind Steven Espinoza because I know where he's gonna sit. Sit right behind him. That $500 ticket, man, that'll be so much fun. Oh, the TV side, that $500 ticket, right there. I like it when I sit right there. That would be good. And the ticket wouldn't even be $500 for that fight. It'd be like $250, $300. Oh, yeah, the TV side. Yeah. Appreciate y'all, man. This was a fun show, man. Michael and Jerry got along, y'all. Wow. It must be the holiday season, man. It must be Jesus' birthday. Appreciate y'all, man. I'll holler, man. Jesus' birthday. That's funny.